Welcome, sports fans. It's a DPL sports production. Two of the most exciting things you can see in sports competition is a championship game and a rematch. And Andy, we've got them both here tonight in Dawson, Georgia for the GISA Class AA State Championship.
That's right, Craig, and all the teams that play high school football set a common goal, and that's to get to the state championship game. And here in the Georgia Independent School Association, two schools, Terrell Academy and Briarwood Academy, have achieved that goal. They're here tonight. Two teams that love to run the football, two teams that play hard-nosed, aggressive defense. Should be just a great football game.
The Briarwood Academy Buccaneers come in here tonight with a heavily anchored ground game. Tell us about their senior tailback.
That's right. Brad Thigpen is one of the best high school running backs anywhere. Rushed for over 7,000 yards in his career. This season, 870 some odd yards and 27 touchdowns. Just a tremendous performer. And Briarwood, a senior team, as you mentioned, looking to avenge not only last year's loss to Terrell Academy in the championship game, but also the loss in the semifinals 2 years ago.
That's right. You mentioned Terrell Academy. They've also got a good ground game of their own.
That's right. Ryan Powell, number 23, leads the ground attack for the Terrell Academy Eagles. He's had a big year also, just 2 yards shy of 2,000 yards. And Terrell Academy looking for the three-peat this year, third straight state championship game, and they're playing on their home field. They've played a tough schedule this year, and Coach Don Beard and his guys seem to be ready for this one tonight.
Expectations are high. There are a lot of fans on both sides of the field. Stay with us. This will be a good one. This is what it's all about, Andy, and a lot of people have been waiting for tonight, namely these Briarwood Academy Buccaneers, as they've had last year's defeat on their mind for a year now, and they're here to try to redeem it.
They really are, Craig. Big sign as the team come running out. Put it simply in one word, revenge. That's what's on their mind tonight. But Terrell Academy has thoughts of winning a third straight state championship game, and we are underway.
Lemuel Brooks takes the kickoff around the 12-yard line. He's trying to find a crease. He's going to get up to about the 28. He's brought down there by number 72, Trevor Parmesan. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers at their own 28.
Okay, we'll give you this starting lineup for the Briarwood Buccaneers. Quarterback, number 12, Bo Thigpen. Of course, Brad Thigpen, the twin brother, at tailback. And the fullback spot will be number 88, Lemuel Brooks. Bucks in the I formation.
1st and 10, the give is to Brooks, off tackle. He's going to have maybe a couple yards out to the 31, where he's brought down by David Massey and Dan Webb. It will be 2nd and 8 from there.
Tied in for Briarwood, number 85, Macy Thigpen. Offensive line, number 82, Keith Jackson is split in, actually. So the offensive line, number 80, Nat Williams, number 77, Brad Barnett, number 75, Travis Polk, number 52, David Clarkson, and number 63, Jay Axon.
The Buccaneers try to go with a counter play this time to no avail. Matter of fact, they're going to lose a yard. In the backfield that time caused a little bit of trouble. It was number 61, Greg Hamlin. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Ball's resting just shy of the 30-yard line.
This may be a passing situation for Briarwood. 3rd and long. We know they prefer to hand that ball to Brad Thigpen and let him do his thing.
3rd long situation. We'll see what head coach Jay Cravey wants to do here. He will go to the air. Bo Thigpen rolling out. Had a man in the flats, but he overthrows him. Pass intended for number 30, Jay Maxwell. Jay Maxwell, the senior, split in. Ball is over his head, though, and falls incomplete. It'll be 4th and 9 from their own 30, and the Buccaneers will have to punt.
That's right, 3 and out for Briarwood, so Terrell Academy will have their first offensive possession following this punt.
Had a chance to mingle through the crowd before the game, and a lot of excitement tonight. Terrell Academy, some of their fans talking about their defense. They put their defense on the field first and come out with a 3 and out situation. And now on the punt return, Ryan Conlon, number 21. Conlon with one man to beat. The punter, Lemuel Brooks, brings him down at the 35.
Yeah, big special teams play by Terrell Academy, and they'll start in great shape at the 35-yard line of Briarwood to start this game. And Ryan Conlon, a player also to keep an eye on, we hear so much about Ryan Powell, but Conlon had 5 touchdowns in last week's semifinal win over Gatewood, a 44-12 victory by the Eagles. So now Terrell Academy goes on offense. Number 17, Kevin Massey, the sophomore quarterback, will lead the 2 tight end wishbone set.
And the give is going to be to Ryan Powell, the lead play over the right side. Powell ahead for a gain of maybe a yard, brought down by Brad Thigpen, along with number 75, Travis Polk.
Backfield for Terrell Academy, number 20, Dan Webb is the fullback, 23 Powell, and 21 Conlon, the halfbacks. On the offensive line with a 2 tight end set, Joseph Bryan, Trevor Permerson, Gene Harris, Michael Swilly, A.J. McMath, big number 77, Josh Blankenship, number 62, Slade Roberts.
On second down, the give is to Ryan Conlon. It's the lead play to the other side this time. Conlon's going to be ahead for a gain of 4. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 situation for the Eagles of Terrell Academy. And Andy, we were mentioning just for the punt return, they did win the coin toss and defer to the second half. Set up the big punt return. Conlon gets all the way down to the 35, and they're in business in good field position right off the bat. Now it's a third, we'll call it 3rd down and 5 situation. Looks like Massey's going to take it around the corner himself. He's got a blocker out there, and he is smacked. The ball comes out. It looks like Terrell Academy may have gotten back on it. What a hit there. I didn't even see who it was, Andy, but somebody really hit him.
Well, I didn't get the number either, but Massey, the quarterback, faked the lead play into the line of scrimmage, got outside, but yeah, he got nailed at the end there. Coughed it up, and fortunately for the Eagles, they do maintain possession as one of the down linemen recovered the fumble for the Eagles.
That's right. The hit occurred near the first down marker, but the ball was fumbled forward. One of the linemen from Terrell Academy was able to recover it, so it's 1st and 10 now, just inside the 25 of the Buccaneers. The give us to Powell, lead play over the right side. Powell gets through the hole, makes a move back toward the middle of the field. He's going to be brought down by number 22, Brian Scruggs. Scruggs gets him at the 16. It's going to be 2nd down now and maybe a yard for the Eagles.
Yes, Terrell Academy on the move. That time brought one of the guards out. A little trap block out of that lead play. And now they have a 2nd and short. They're in the red zone at the 17.
Briarwood in a 4-4 defense. Conlon now gets the carry over the left side, and Conlon's going to be inside the 15. He'll have another Terrell Academy 1st down. So, Andy, they get it in good field position, back-to-back 1st downs, and now they really are knocking on the door here early in the ball game.
That's right, and we've covered a lot of games through the years, and we realize that a lot of times the team that scores first may end up winning the football game. And the statistics will bear that out, and Terrell Academy certainly would love to get points here on their first possession of this 1996 state championship game.
We're just under 8 minutes in the first quarter. They alter the count that time and give it to Ryan Powell on the trap, and he's in for the touchdown. Ryan Powell, number 23, had a good hole to run through, but the last 10 yards was all Mr. Powell. He makes one man miss, just kind of shoulders off another tackler, and he's into the end zone from 14 yards out, and Terrell Academy has 6 points.
Yes, that was a counter trap play at number 62. Slade Roberts got over and sprung Powell. Nice block. Ryan Powell, just a junior, seems like he's been playing here forever. Takes it on in, and the Eagles have the early lead.
They're lining up to go for 2. It is the counter option, and Massey trying to get in. He does. Kevin Massey, number 17, on the option. Keeper leans forward, got the football across the plane of the goal line. So it's 8-0 now. It's 7:51 remaining in the first quarter.
That was a heads-up play by Kevin Massey, the sophomore quarterback for the Eagles. Started all last year as a freshman. And he's the younger brother of 2 pretty good athletes that played here at Terrell Academy. You remember Richard Massey from last year's team, and also his older brother David Massey, a great player here at Terrell Academy, graduated prior to the Eagles winning the state championship game in 1994. But the younger brother, Kevin Massey, doing his thing there, stretching it out at the end.
And Andy, you mentioned the games we cover year in and year out. Field position is something we talk about nearly every week. Every time we start talking about football, field position plays into it. And right there, The Eagles beneficiary of a good punt return, had excellent field position in enemy territory, and they take it on in for the score.
Yeah, so much of the game is either offense and defense. But a lot of times it's like you said, field position, then special teams and mistakes. You know, those are also factors, probably more so than anything else.
Number 62, Slade Roberts, puts his foot into it. It's picked up by number 44, Paul Wheatley, and Wheatley gets a good returner on the far sideline. Paul Wheatley's all the way up to the 44. So the Buccaneers have pretty good field position here to start their second possession. They're down by 8 points, 7:42 remaining in the first. We'll see what they can get going on offense with this possession.
That's right, nice return. They're up at the 44-yard line. And you're right, they need to get the offense going and answer that score by Terrell Academy. I'll give you some of these defensive players in this possession. 52, David Clarkson, 72. Well, I don't have a 72. I'm on the wrong page, that's why. Let me start again. 52 is Gene Harris, 72. Trevor Permison, 61. Greg Hamlin, 73. Luke Prescott is 63. It's Michael Swilly.
We have a penalty flag. One of the Terrell Academy Eagles lined up in the neutral zone that time. It will be 1st and 5 for the Buccaneers now up at their own 49-yard line.
Linebackers for the Terrell Academy Eagles, number 20, Dan Webb, number 67, A.J. McMath, and number 23, Ryan Powell. Your secondary, number 21, Ryan Conlon, number 42, John Nicholson, and number 17, Kevin Massey.
We got a tip before the game to keep an eye on number 61, defensive lineman for Terrell Academy. 1st down and 5 for the Buccaneers. Toss sweep. Thigpen has it. He finds a little bit of room outside, cuts it back up toward the middle. He's going to have 6 yards and a Buccaneer 1st down in Eagle territory.
So Brad Thigpen, running back we've heard so much about for Briarwood, over 7,000 yards in his career, playing here in his final game, and certainly he and all these other seniors on the Briarwood team would love to go out as state champions. 9 seniors playing tonight for the Buccaneers.
Ball's resting at the 45-yard line of the Terrell Academy Eagles. Up to the ball in the I formation are the Buccaneers. Thigpen, lead play over the left side. He's going to be ahead for a gain of 4 behind pretty good blocking on that offensive line.
Yeah, they got a good push that time, and Thigpen's going to get about 4 yards on 1st down.
It's another thing, Andy, we were here last year to cover this football game, and there were a lot of juniors on this Buccaneer team, and some of them have visibly grown over the past year. They're a lot bigger up front than they were in 1995. This time, Bo Thigpen keeps it around the end after faking to his brother. He fakes that same lead play, keeps it around the end, gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and short.
That's right, we saw Terrell Academy on their opening possession run that slant play with their quarterback, taking the ball into the line of scrimmage and letting the quarterback take it to the outside. Good looking play, and now it's 3rd and short. Ball at the 36-yard line of the Terrell Academy Eagles.
Quarterback sneak right up the gut. We saw that a lot this year, Andy. When you got a 4-man front in front of you, it's easy to run that quarterback sneak for short yardage.
Absolutely, that's just taking what the defense gives you. Easy 1st down. Both Thigpen follows center Jay Axon right up the middle.
Terrell Academy in a 4-4 defense. Buccaneers up to the ball. Thigpen once again behind the blocking of his lead fullback, Lemuel Brooks. He's going to have 3, maybe 3.5 on that carry. Ball's at the 29-yard line of the Eagles. It'll be 2nd down and a long 6.
Greg Briarwood comes in here tonight 10-2 on the season. They are the champions of Region 1 AA. 2 losses, 1 to Athens Christian, 1 to Brentwood Academy. Both those teams AAA schools.
Thigpen once again. This time he gets outside, breaks a tackle all the way down to the 20s, brought down by number 21, Ryan Conlon.
This Thigpen found some daylight that time, made a little move at the end, and Ryan Conlon held his ground and made the tackle, and had he not, Thigpen probably would have took that one in for the score. Now Buccaneers looking to answer, Craig, down touching that red zone at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at the 20. Buccaneers come to the line in the I formation. Again, it's Thigpen on the lead play. Notice, Andy, he likes to cut that lead play back toward the middle. That time he does so, picks up 5 yards to the 15.
Yes, right now, Briarwood offensive line opening up some pretty good holes. Let's see if Terrell Academy tries to do something different on defense.
Buccaneers took this ball from their own 44 after a good punt return. A good kickoff return by number 44, Paul Wheatley. Now they're down here close. Quarterback Bo Thigpen fakes it into the line. And Andy, there was a trap block that he cut back into. Good looking play, but he stopped just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yes, Craig, and looks like they may bring out the chains and measure this one. It appears to me it's just short, but they're going to look at it. I believe he had to reach the 11. Looks like he's on about the 12 or 11 and a half maybe. And here comes the chain gang, and they will measure this one.
Sometimes from up here in the middle of the field, you don't look at things exactly right, but you're right. Just looking at that, looking at that from here, we could tell that was going to be short.
And the referee stretched his arms out about as wide as he could, signaling how far it was, a good yard.
But I will say this, Andy, at least they measured. We've covered 2 games here in the last couple of weeks, and we didn't see hardly any measurements, even on plays where there should have been some.
Measurements, yeah. If you don't are not sure, yeah, you should measure it and find out.
Thigpen into the line. He gets met at the 10, falls forward to the 9. He's going to have a first down. First and goal for the Buccaneers now. Looked like Dan Webb in on the stop for Terrell Academy.
First down for the Buccaneers.
Yes, there's a good hole there, but Webb closed it down, but not before Thigpen makes it first and goal from just inside the 10. And now we're going to have a timeout, an official's timeout, as Brad Thigpen has an equipment adjustment.
Talk about Dan Webb. He's a senior fullback, 225 pounds, playing middle linebacker, or inside linebacker. It's a pretty good sized athlete in there in the middle.
Yes, Webb, also the fullback on this team, and 225 pounds. That's right. That's a good size at linebacker and at the fullback spot. And Ryan Powell, one of the halfbacks, 203 pounds, so some good size in that backfield for Terrell Academy. When you got running backs 200 pounds plus, those are some big guys.
Big guys that can really run.
That's right.
First and goal from the 9. Thigpen has it on the lead play. It's that left side, and it appears they like to work the left side. Thigpen's going to have 4 yards. Just inside the 6, almost to the 5. Second and goal from just outside the 5-yard line.
That's right. Brad Thigpen, no runt himself, 190 pounds. You're right, he's following that left side and getting good yardage. And now they're down the 5-yard line, 3:15 to play in the first quarter. And Briarwood Buccaneers trying to tie this football game.
He's following Brad Barnett along with Travis Polk over there on that left side. This time it's Lemuel Brooks, the fullback. Lucas Brooks has nowhere to go.
That's right. Dan Webb once again applying the hit. And he hit him so hard he rattled his helmet. He had to take his helmet off and adjust those ear pads. Dan Webb stuck it right up in there.
We'll give Brooks maybe a half yard on that. He's inside the 5 now to the 4.5. It will be 3rd and goal from there. Ball is very close to the middle of the field. We've seen mostly Thigpen on lead plays left and right.
Terrell Academy, they're in a 6-man front now. Goal line defense.
6-man front, fake into the line. It's a pass, and it's a touchdown. Briarwood scores a pass to number 85, Macy Thigpen. Both Thigpen fakes it into the line, hits his tight end out in the flat. He was open, and the Buccaneers have come right back and answered the score.
They have, Craig, and you're right. The play fake is what was able to spring Macy Thigpen open that time. Froze the linebackers, and he was able to get to the outside.
2 minutes, 22 seconds now remaining in the first quarter. We'll see if the Buccaneers go for 2 and try to tie this game up at 8. Terrell Academy got 2 after their touchdown.
That's right. That was a good-looking play by Briarwood Buccaneers. I like to call by Coach Jay Cravey.
They go with a quarterback sneak, saw an opening in the middle again.
Boy, it's close.
And the signal is good. Boy, it was real close, Andy, and that's one of them we didn't want to have to make from up here, and I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, I thought he'd gotten in, but the officials were late with the call, and that's why I was saying it was close. I couldn't understand what the delay was, but he did get in, and we are tied at 8.
Looked like he went on a quick snap count that time and had a little opening right there in the middle. He got real close and held the ball out. Referee says he broke the plane. It is an 8-8 ball game with 2:22 remaining. Andy, back to the touchdown. I love the play-action pass anyway. That was the perfect time to run it.
Absolutely. Terrell has been sticking it up in there in the line of scrimmage, and they're keying on Thigpen, and the play fake throws those linebackers. Or I should say keying on Brad Thigpen, because it was Macy Thigpen. They called a pass. A lot of Thigpens out there for Briarwood. Quarterback, tight end, and tailback. But that was so big for Briarwood Academy to come back with a score. Last year's game was 22-0 win by Terrell Academy in the championship game, and they needed that for their own confidence probably as much as anything else. They know now we can score on this Terrell Academy team, and this is going to be a football game. That was the statement they made there.
It was billed to be that way even before it started, and so far it's the matchup we anticipated. Brooks will kick off. It's a high, short, end-over-end kick. It's going to fall right in.
Free ball.
It's a free ball.
Briarwood's going to have it.
And I believe Briarwood gets on it. Just inside the 30-yard line, Briarwood covers it. And it is a live ball, just like an onside kick on this, a little longer and a little higher. Looked like the Terrell Academy player over there had thoughts of letting it go out of bounds, but it did not.
Yeah, middle breakdown that time. And you're right, Craig. Once the ball crosses 10 yards from where it's kicked, it's a live ball, and anybody can recover. And the Terrell Academy player there backed off, as you said, and Briarwood was all over it. I believe number 12 recovered. That's Bo Thigpen, the quarterback. So now Briarwood has it at the 30-yard line, and they're in great shape to take the lead in this contest.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of Terrell Academy. Once again, that field position we talked about, they're starting a drive with only 30 yards to go to the end zone. Terrell Academy in a 5-man front now. Macy Thigpen in motion from one side to the other. Toss sweep to both. Brad Thigpen. He's trying to get outside. Cuts inside of one man. He spins free. He's gone. He's gone. Brad Thigpen down the sideline. This one may come back, though. There's a penalty flag laying at the 25.
Yes, I believe it's going to be a holding penalty against Briarwood. Let's see what the call is.
That'll be a shame if it's a hold, Andy, because that was a heck of a run by Brad Thigpen.
It really was. He just so determined and broke tackles, and it is holding against Briarwood. So that spectacular run by Brad Thigpen will be wiped out. But what a great run.
I'll tell you what, Andy, he just cut it inside, and one man had a little room to the outside. But it looked like they had him, and he spun free of the tackle and headed toward the end zone.
He did. It was just a toss sweep to the right side. And Briarwood brought a guard out, number 77. Brad Barnett did some lead blocking.
I believe Barnett did a little bit of extra blocking. I believe he was flagged for the holding there.
Yeah, I think that's right. And
I know Mr. Barnett feels pretty bad about that, bringing back a touchdown. And sure, it was nothing that he intentionally penalized his team. But nevertheless, it's 1st and 15 out at the 35. Fortunately for the Buccaneers, the hold occurred 5 yards downfield, so they're not penalized the full 10 yards. Well, now they are. This time one of the wideouts trying to get a head start. Moves toward the line of scrimmage. It's going to be flagged for illegal motion now. Backed up 5 more yards. It'll be 1st and 20.
We talked about Briarwood 10-2 on the season a little bit earlier. Terrell Academy coaching here 9-3 on the season. Of course, you remember last year they went through the season undefeated. I believe they'd won something like 23 straight games heading into the championship game. But this year, Coach Beard beefed up the schedule a little bit. They played the likes of Mount DeSales and Deerfield, Windsor.
Bo Thigpen going to go to there on 1st down and 20. He's under pressure, gets away from one man. Now he's tucked it under. He's going to get ahead inside the 40, down to the 38. Gain of maybe 3. Good job by Bo Thigpen to get away from the rush, and good pressure by Terrell Academy.
Well, that's right. It looked like that Briarwood had some receivers open downfield, but because of the pressure that came up the middle that time, Thigpen had to scramble, run for his life, and was not able to spot those open guys. But sometimes they say the best pass defense is a good pass rush, and that's what Terrell Academy got that time.
Good job by the ends, number 73, Luke Prescott, along with number 52, Gene Harris. Both of them trying to get in the backfield to the quarterback. Second down now, 18 yards to go. This time, Bo Thigpen runs into one of his own players. He's tripped up, and once his knees hit, the play is over. Loss of 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 23, Andy.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Briarwood. And you remember, had the good field position at the 30-yard line. Now they're going backwards. They're back out at the 44-yard line. Bo Thigpen, as you said, tripped over one of his linemen's feet, trying to get out from under the center.
These are the kind of possessions, Andy, that you look back on and they just bother you. When you have good field position, you hurt yourself with penalties and mistakes, and do not capitalize on that field position. 3rd and 23. Thigpen back, trying to get a man down the side. Had Lemuel Brooks open. Lemuel Brooks from his fullback position found himself open on the far side. Pass just out of reach.
Yes, Briarwood had twins to the right. Sent both those receivers downfield and brought Brooks out of the backfield over to the left side. He was open. Pass was overthrown just slightly. Looked may have had a shot at that one, but couldn't get his hands on it.
Looked like he had slowed just a little bit before the pass was thrown.
This Briarwood now going to try to kick Terrell into a hole, pending some sort of a fake. And now they're going to kick it away.
Lemuel Brooks kicks it, going for the coffin corner. It lands inside the 20. Takes a sideways bounce and will be down just inside the 18. And Terrell Academy will take the offense for the second time in this ball game. We've only got 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and the Eagles have only had it one time.
That's right. And you know, that offense is really itching to get back on the field and do their thing, as they drove it in and scored when they had the ball. On their first possession, went right down the field. Ryan Powell hit pay dirt.
First and 10, ball just outside the 17-yard line for Terrell Academy. They send Ryan Conlon to the wing position. Give it to Ryan Powell on the lead. Powell's going to be ahead to the 21-yard line. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7 there. And what might go a little unnoticed. It'll go unnoticed till the next quarter. We're at the end of the first quarter. The score is 8-8. We got a real good barn burner going here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Welcome back, fans. And Andy, what I was about to say before I was rudely interrupted by the scoreboard clock was what a good defensive stand Terrell Academy had. The onside kick, or that's what we'll call it, was at their own 30-yard line. And they held the Buccaneers to no points.
Yeah, they really come out there smelling like a rose.
Kevin Massey going to the air. He's got a man deep down the sideline, just overthrown. Intended that time for number 12, Eric Blanton. Eric Blanton, just a freshman. We were told before the game he was a heck of a receiver. That time looked like Massey had his choice. Had Ryan Conlon running down the middle of the field and Blanton down the sideline, and both men were open.
Yes, 2nd and 6, and Coach Don Beard decides to go for the home run ball and nearly had it. Receivers were open, just slightly overthrown. But not a bad looking throw by the sophomore quarterback, Massey. He laid it out there.
3rd down and 6 from the 22. Terrell Academy, 2 tight ends in the wing, in the wishbone formation. Counter play to Ryan Powell. He shakes one tackle, but there's another Buccaneer there to meet him. That time he's brought down by number 85, Macy Thigpen, along with number 12, Bo Thigpen. Lemuel Brooks also in the vicinity. It will be 4th and 5.
Talking about good stands, Briarwood comes and forces a 3-and-out situation. Of course, that doesn't happen very often against this Terrell Academy team. Well, now they're going to have to kick it away. Number 20, Dan Webb, will do the punting for the Eagles.
Webb doing the punting, back to receive. Keith Johnson.
Craig, we have an offsides penalty, it looks like, and this may give Terrell Academy a first down.
And if it does not, it's very, very close. I mean, they've got what looks to me exactly 5 yards to go. We'll see how they step it off here. We'll see whether we got a long-legged referee or a short one.
Uh-oh.
Now we've got a paused one. This could be trouble.
That's right. Yeah, the referee sort of paused. I think what we're going to do is bring out the chains. And well, I'm not sure what they're going to do, Craig, to be honest with you. But the referee started marking off the penalty and stopped, a little stutter step there. And that could be the difference. They are signaling it is a first down.
And that's a bit of an unusual mode of operation there by the referees. They go over to the sideline, take a look at the change, and say, here, put the ball here, it's a first down. And I understand the reasoning to go look at the distance on the chains, but the ball might not have been where the marker was on the sideline.
That's right. I don't quite understand that, but nonetheless, first down for Terrell Academy.
Give us to Ryan Conlon, lead play. He's hit in the middle. Lemuel Brooks along with number 77, Brad Barnett. No gain on the play. It will be 2nd and 10.
That's right, Briarwood all over that play. And that's one thing they felt like coming in here tonight, that they had a better shot at slowing down this Terrell Academy offense. You remember last year, Daniel Davis, Edward Moody, those guys, just tremendous runners. Of course, Webb and Powell and Conlon, also great runners for Terrell Academy, but Briarwood lost their chances this year a little bit better than they did last year.
Lead play to Ryan Powell this time. Powell running tough. He's going to be brought down by Bo Thigpen and Lemuel Brooks after a gain of 4. And it's going to be 3rd and 6 once again.
Yeah, we mentioned at the onset, both these teams really love to run the football. That's what we're seeing so far. We've seen a few passes. Two pretty good quarterbacks that can throw the football, Bo Thigpen and Kevin Massey, but for the most part, these teams going to run the football, do it the old-fashioned way.
I said 3rd and 6. It's really 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4, balls just inside the 35-yard line. They run Conlon, trying to get outside. He cuts inside of one man. He's going to be up to the 37. We're still going to need about 1.5 yards. Going to bring up 4th down once again.
Yes, Terrell Academy trying to run the lead play to the left side. And lot 13, Brad Thigpen on a blitz and got some penetration and sort of disrupted that play in the backfield. Forced the defender to make a move back there, and that gave the Briarwood defense time to get over and make the tackle. There was a pretty good haul-off tackle.
That's right, Andy. 4th and 1 from their own 37. It looks like Terrell Academy is going to line up to go for this.
Boy, this is big here.
Briarwood's got him stuck up there at the line of scrimmage. Ball is snapped. They give it to Powell. He's hit, but he's going to get forward to the 40-yard line, and Ryan Powell picks up the first down.
Yes, a little trap block action by the Terrell Academy offensive line. It gave Powell just the room that he needed to pick up that first down. But a gutsy call there by Coach Don Beard to go for it on 4th and 1 in his own territory. But it also shows he's got a lot of faith in these ball players and that offensive line and those running backs and what they can accomplish.
That makes it 1st and 10 at the 40. Terrell Academy Eagles on the move. They're in the I formation this time, a wide out to both sides of the field. The give is to Powell. He finds a hole, breaks the tackle, just tripped up. Bo Thigpen got him by the shoelace as he went across the 50. He didn't fall until he got to the 45. 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
That's right. Thigpen may have saved the touchdown that time for Briarwood. And Ryan Powell, we mentioned earlier, 203 pounds, good size in the backfield, but we also know that he has breakaway speed. You remember last year's championship game, he had an 87-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter to put that game away for Terrell Academy.
We have a referee's timeout here. 8:40 remaining in the second quarter. We are in the middle of an 8-8 tie. One of the Buccaneer players has a problem. Substitution comes in, number 42, Bo Fleming. Fleming, a freshman cornerback.
And he's on
He
Ryan
has to
Powell.
come in and guard Ryan Powell right off the bat. It's a running play. Conlon has it. Conlon's wrapped up by number 80, Nathan Williams. Nathan Williams, 220-pound senior defensive tackle.
And Terrell Academy line up in the I formation that time and split Ryan Powell out as a flanker. Let's see if Terrell Academy lines up in that same formation again and maybe tries to pass the ball out there.
Andy, I was thinking pass on that last play, especially with the formation we got. This time it's Ryan Conlon that comes out. Same formation. It is the counter play to Ryan Powell. He breaks another tackle, and Ryan Powell running hard is going to be inside to 35 and have another Eagle first down.
That's right. Terrell Academy had been lining up for that wishbone with two tight ends, and that allows the defense to sort of pack it in there real tight and defend the middle of the field. But when you split somebody out, the wide receiver, they have to send a cornerback out to guard him, and takes an extra man out of the box, so to speak. And now Terrell Academy moving the ball.
Briarwood in a five-man front. Lemuel Brooks and Brad Thigpen, the inside linebackers. From the I formation, Dan Webb on the counter. A little bit of a fullback trap that time. And Webb's going to have 3 yards. 2nd and 7 now.
Yes, number 62 that time for Terrell Academy. Slater Roberts went downfield and laid a pretty good block on both Thigpen. Well, downfield action was before the whistle, but Thigpen having word with the official there thought perhaps that was unnecessary.
Bo Thigpen playing safety. He's been in on a lot of tackles so far, Andy.
That's right. You better block him because he's going to be there if you don't.
Long snap count this time. Ryan Powell has it, trying to get outside. He's going to be hit by number 22, Brian Scruggs. Scruggs brings him down after a gain of 3. And now it will be 3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4 for Terrell Academy. And Andy, if they went for it on their own end of the field, you got to assume they'll go for it here, so they'll have 2 downs to make these 4 yards.
Oh, yeah, we're in definite 2-down territory now. If they don't convert here, Coach Beard will certainly go on 4th down.
I formation. Lead play to Powell. Knifing in underneath, number 77, Brad Barnett. Barnett gets Powell around the ankles, falls forward for a gain of 1.5. It's going to be 4th down and 3 now for the Eagles.
Yes, Barnett comes straight at the middle, unabated that time, and made the big play, and he's going to create that 4th down situation. And now Coach Don Beard and the Terrell Academy Eagles will take a timeout to discuss the situation. It's certainly a big play coming up, 4th and 3. Ball on the 27-yard line, 5:50 remaining here in the second quarter, Craig, and the game all tied at 8.
Andy, we talked about both these teams' offenses. They're good running backs and they're good offensive attack. Jeffrey Williams, our sideline cameraman and longtime employee of DPL Sports,
absolutely
told me right before the game that this would be a defensive contest. Well, it's an 8-8 score, and so far, he may be right.
Well, Jeffrey has a good feel for football. We talked to Jeffrey a lot. He's a good friend of ours, and we certainly value his opinion, and he knows what he's talking about. And I think you hit this one on the head. And 2 fine football teams here tonight, and we kind of feel like this place is home. We've been out here so often, 3rd straight year that we've covered the state championship game all 3 years right here in Dawson, Georgia, and certainly all of us at DPL Sports are proud to be here and met a lot of nice people, including the man standing right here to our right, Larry Massey, has just been so helpful with all that he's done, helping us get this thing set up and making these broadcasts possible.
And that's right, Andy. 3rd year in a row we've been here, but the first time we've been here that it wasn't bitterly cold.
That's right, a lot better. This is the best weather we've had. There's no question about that. Just a beautiful night to be out here playing or watching high school football, Craig, and a very, very big play in this football game coming up right here.
That's right, Andy. It's 4th down, 3 yards to go at Buccaneer territory. They're in the wishbone formation once again, the Eagles. Don't like the defensive lineup of the Buccaneers and call another timeout. Coach Beard wanting to pick the right play to run here, Andy. There's only 5:50 remaining in the first half. It's an 8-8 ball game, and this is one of those first downs that you got to have.
That's right. And, certainly you hate to have to call 2 timeouts back to back with plenty of time left in the half, 5:50 remaining, nearly 6 minutes. But you certainly don't want to have a blotched play or something that's not going to work, because this is such a crucial situation here. So I think it was a wise decision by the sophomore quarterback Massey to signal for the timeout, because he certainly saw something he did not like.
That's right. They were signaling for the timeout on the sideline. So he saw the same thing the coaches saw. It's just the defensive alignment by the Buccaneers was evidently in the way of the play they had called.
Yeah, they must have made some sort of adjustment. They realized that. Wisely spent the timeout.
So the big 4th down is coming up. 4th and 3. The ball is at the 28-yard line of the Buccaneers. They've got to get to the 20, just inside the 25. Wishbone formation. And it's Ryan Powell up the middle. He makes one man miss another, and he's all the way down to the 15-yard line. The Eagles have a first down in the red zone.
That's right. Briarwood got some pretty good penetration straight up the middle, but somehow Powell was able to elude the defender in the backfield, and he found that hole and nearly broke it. And the Eagles in business at the 15-yard line.
There was almost a misdirection play, Andy. The fullback went one direction, and then Powell the other. Behind a good block, had a good hole. He's all the way down to the 15. Webb and Powell in the backfield. Powell has it once again. This time Brad Thigpen comes in from the linebacker position. Puts the hit on him after a gain of a yard. 2nd and 9, balls just inside the 14. Andy, it's time to mention once again, we are watching Ironman football. A lot of these young men going both ways.
Yeah, that's right. I believe 8 players for Briarwood going both ways, and probably nearly as many for Terrell Academy. Of course, both these teams have pretty decent numbers for independent school football. Briarwood dresses 24 players, and Terrell Academy 22. But you're right, a lot of Ironman football going on tonight.
2nd down and a short 8. Pass intended for Ryan Conlon on the slant pattern, and Conlon has it. He's down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yes, Kevin Massey, the quarterback, just took the snap from center, stood straight up, and fired to Conlon on the slant end. And that's right, it's 1st and goal, and Terrell Academy now in business to regain that lead. Reassume the lead, I should say.
Ball is at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the half. Wishbone formation. Powell has it, trying to get outside. He hurdles, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Ryan Powell. His 2nd touchdown of the night. A 4-yard run. 14-8 now.
And Craig, credit number 52, Gene Harris, with a nice trap block there to allow Powell the room to get on in there for the touchdown. Made a nice effort. He hurdled in there, but Gene Harris got that good block that sprung that play.
Terrell Academy line up and go for 2 once again. They were successful after their first touchdown. Scores 14-8. 2 backs in the backfield. Now they split. There's no backs. Fumble snap, and it's a botched play. 2-point conversion will fail. I don't mean to cut you off, Andy, from your fumble call there.
Yeah, I was a little slow reacting that time. That's my bad, but a lot of confusion that time at Terrell Academy. Busted play, and played one of the halfbacks set the wrong way, perhaps. I'm not really sure what happened, but a little bit of confusion out there. But 2-point conversion is unsuccessful. And it's 14-8, 4:10 remaining here in the first half. And while we have a moment, Craig, we mentioned earlier about Jeffrey Williams. It's not to say for the people watching this video tape that we are DPL Sports. I'm Andy Calloway. My partner here tonight is Craig Lanier, bringing you all this exciting play-by-play. I'd mention Dan Mauser, the heart and soul of DPL Sports. Does all the work. We have all the fun, and he makes all the money. But he's on top here with his camera, top of the press box with us, and on the sidelines, Jeffrey Williams and Greg Roundtree.
Greg Roundtree, the pork chop boy, he's on the far sideline.
PCB is on the far sideline. Jeffrey Williams working the Terrell Academy sideline. And once again, it's our pleasure to be here in Dawson, Georgia tonight, bringing you the 1996 GISA Class AA State Championship game.
Kickoff is fielded by number 14, Billy Wiggins. Wiggins gets up to the 38, where the Buccaneers will start 1st and 10. They're trailing by 6 with 4:05 remaining in the second quarter.
Greg, I think I finally figured out what's been missing over here. We've been to these games. We said this is our 3rd year. But there's a band here tonight, Terrell County High School band that's here playing tonight. And they're doing a great job. I'm sitting here just kind of swaying back to, enjoying the music. And I'm in a good mood. And it's a great night for football and just a great setting here tonight.
1st and 10, Bo Thigpen on the option. He's gone! Bo Thigpen breaks it up the middle. No one's going to catch him. Bo Thigpen on the option keeper. Once he got through the line of scrimmage, Andy, everyone sold on the fake. And Bo Thigpen goes 62 yards.
Wow, what a play, Craig. I'm stunned. That happened so fast, I really didn't see what happened, but Terrell Academy must have blissed or done something, because you're right, everyone reacted to the play, and once Thigpen broke the line of scrimmage and got about 5 or 10 yards downfield, it was all over with right then.
That's right. I couldn't even get the words out to describe what was happening because I was shocked. I mean, when he got free, he was 10 yards behind everyone. That never happened to me when I played. I never found myself that wide open.
Yeah,
3 minutes, 53 seconds. That took all of 8 seconds for this game to turn right around.
Yeah, and I'm sure Bo Thigpen was probably as surprised as anybody in the building when he looked up after taking about 5 steps and saw how open he was and saw that end zone. He looked back over his shoulder one time and saw his brother Brad back there throw the last block to keep the one guy that had a chance perhaps of getting him, sealing him off. But now, Craig, an extra point the Terrell Academy missed could be big, and the Buccaneers take a timeout to talk about it because it's tied at 14-14, 3:53 showing in the second quarter.
That's right, and it is a 14-14 tie, and the extra point could give the Buccaneers the lead. But there's still 3 minutes, 53 seconds left in this half.
Yeah, a lot of football left.
That's a lot of football when these two teams play.
Well, we've said this before, and every time we said it, it seems to become a factor, but these extra points are so big. We saw it a couple weeks ago. We videotaped the Class A semifinal game between David Emanuel and John Hancock, and we were talking about that very point of this spot of the game in the second quarter. Of course, scores something like 19-7 at the time, but the extra point turned out to be a factor as John Hancock won by 1 point, 26-25. And it's like Briarwood's going to try to kick it through there, number 30.
It does look that way. Jay Maxwell, senior split in, number 30, is going to try to kick this extra point. Bo Thigpen holds it. Maxwell sticks it through. Kick is good. 15-14 is your score. 3:53 in the second quarter.
Yes.
Andy, every possession except for the one the Buccaneers had after the onside kick has resulted in points here in the first half.
It really has. And Briarwood converts their extra point. They have their first lead of the game at 15-14.
Just a few moments ago, we were talking about it being a good defensive ball game. And now all of a sudden it's 2 scores later, 15-14.
That's right. Terrell Academy drove it down and scored, and Briarwood answers with the big play. First play following a nice kickoff return, 62-yard run by Bo Thigpen. And man, we got a whale of a football game shaping up here.
That is absolutely right. We know that you are that way at least twice a game. You are absolutely right. That is what this is shaping up to be, is just a fantastic football game.
Well, it is, and last year was pretty much a dominating performance by Terrell Academy. They won that one 22-0. But on the way down here today, we were thinking this is probably going to be a much closer football game, and we knew that Briarwood was going to come in here all fired up, wanting revenge. And they had a junior ball club last year, and all those guys are seniors this year, 9 guys. And they want to win this one real bad.
It is a short kickoff. This time it's fielded. Oh! Ball's on the dirt once again, and it's a big turnover.
42 for the Bucks.
Eric Blanton, number 12, was returning the kick. He was near his own 35 when he was hit. The ball just shot straight up in the air, recovered by number 42, Bo Fleming. Bo Fleming for Briarwood. Freshman coming up with a big, exciting play there. Now Briarwood has it, 1st and 10 at Terrell Academy's 39.
That's right, Craig, and that's 2 special teams mishaps for Terrell Academy. One of them didn't cost them. You remember the kick, the short kick, they did not recover for that time. They fielded the kick, but fumbled it right back to Briarwood.
Andy, I didn't see who made the tackle that time on the kickoff, but their helmet was right on the football. And when the hit was made, the football just shot straight up in the air.
That's right, big
Bo
hit.
Fleming there to fall on it.
It's 2nd down.
Tries a big hit. They're on 1st down. Thigpen goes off tackle and gets a couple. 3:20 now. Clock is running.
2nd and 9 from the 38. Buccaneers will come up to the ball. Terrell Academy defense awaiting the play, but a timeout called by the Briarwood Academy Buccaneers.
Craig, I believe now that's 2 timeouts burned by each of these teams, so just one left for both the remainder of this first half.
Andy, I got my mind on a little bit of play action here from the Buccaneers. They've been running the football, and they scored a touchdown earlier in the game on a play action pass. And with the clock running and they're down to 1 timeout, they may go to the air here.
That's right, they may. And Craig, so I'd like to mention while we got some time here, while some of mine talked about earlier about the Terrell County High School band here tonight. And that's a welcome sight, because a lot of times, as we all know, public schools and private schools are not always the best of friends for whatever reasons, but private school game here tonight between Terrell Academy and Briarwood, and the public school here at Terrell Academy, their high school band playing tonight. So just a great sight, and good to see everybody getting along.
It is a play action pass intended for number 85, Macy Thigpen. Looks like Terrell Academy was thinking right along with me, as they had every receiver pretty well covered on that one. And put a little pressure on Bo Thigpen. Pass falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 9 now.
Yes, Briarwood wants to come up with a big play here. They certainly don't want to waste this field position.
Randy, it's kind of odd. They've had it starting field position in Terrell Academy's side of the field twice now. Well, I can't say to no avail because they're not finished here, but when they had to drive it is when they got their 2 scores.
That's right.
Third and 9, they go with the lead option, and they give it to the fullback, Lemuel Brooks. And Brooks has no gain on the play.
52, Gene Harris in there. Also Hamlin, number 61.
It's 4th down.
Andy, I think I know what they were thinking on that one. If they could just get 5 or 6 yards. We saw Brad Thigpen kicking 40 and 45-yard field goals warming up. And if they could have gotten 5 or 6 yards on that carry, they might have tried it here. There's a little bit of breeze.
Yeah, they were either going to do that or try to get part of it and go for it on 4th down, but now it's like they're going to kick it away, which is probably not a bad idea. Try to kick the Eagles into a hole.
Oh, no, bad snap. Bad snap over Brooks' head. He's fumbling and bumbling with it. Can't get rid of it now. It's on the ground once again. And it's picked up by Bo Thigpen, and he's going further back. Still live. He throws a pass. He throws a pass. It's complete up to the 50-yard line.
Craig, I'm glad you had to call that play and not me.
Holy smoke.
What a wild play.
Let me go back and try to tell you what happened, because I know I fumbled through it the first time. The snap was over Brooks' head. He went back about 15 yards, and Andy, he had time to pick it up and kick it, but naturally he was in a hurry, as I would have been.
Couldn't find the handle.
Couldn't find the handle on it, couldn't get it picked up, and he was hit just as he picked it up. Fumble it again. Bo Thigpen picks it up, rolls out, completes a pass. All this is happening 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and Terrell Academy has the ball 1st and 10 at their 50, and I hope everyone understood that.
And Craig, it was special teams once again coming into play.
Ryan Powell on the lead play. He breaks the tackle. He's into the secondary. To the 41-yard line of the Buccaneers. That'll be 2nd down and less than a yard there. We're under 2 minutes to play. And we said a lot could happen with 3 minutes and 58, but we didn't know just how much.
We found out a lot can happen on just one play. Wow, that was a wild sequence there. But now Terrell Academy in great shape. We said once again it was special teams mishaps. And Briarwood's going to burn their last time out here. 1:31 left here in the first half.
One minute, 38 seconds. 15-14 is your score. The Buccaneers hold a 1-point lead over the Terrell Academy Eagles. Both of these teams now have had an opportunity here late in the first half to score as a result of special teams on both. Now the Eagles have it. 2nd down and 1 at the 41-yard line of the Briarwood Academy Buccaneers.
That's right, Craig. And we know that Terrell Academy likes to keep that thing on the ground, but we certainly know that they're not afraid to throw the football. We know that Kevin Massey is a player that's really come a long way from last year. He was a great quarterback last year, and he's gotten better. He's a year older. He's a sophomore now. You remember in last year's game, Massey, with his passing, got the first points of that football game. He hit Joe Durham on a touchdown pass that gave them the lead just before halftime.
That's right, Andy. That occurred right before the half, and he completed 3 passes in a row, as a matter of fact,
he
on
did.
that last-minute drive. So watch for the air attack here of the Eagles. Looks like Kevin Massey will throw it. He's throwing it over the middle. Had a man open just off his fingertips. Excuse me. Good pass that time. Eric Blanton unable to haul it in. Massey did put it where it needed to be.
He did. The pass was there, and Blanton was not able to haul it in, just run a post pattern. The Eagles had twins to the right. But a good-looking throw by Massey. And you can really tell the difference in this pass in a year. Threw it well last year. We're throwing it even better this year.
3rd down now, 1. You might see the Eagles go back to the ground here to pick up the 1st down. Get the chains moving once again. It is a draw play to number 23, Ryan Powell. Powell trying to get outside, and he does. Going to be knocked out of bounds near the 32-yard line. 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, I like the call by Coach Don Beard there going with the draw play.
1st down, Eagles.
Certainly Briarwood was not expecting that. Picks up the 1st down, and Powell gets out of bounds, stops the clock.
That's right, Andy. Several good things happening that time for the Eagles. The 1st down, getting out of bounds to stop the clock. Minute 24 remaining. Ball's at the 32 now of Briarwood. Looks like the center for Terrell Academy limping that time, coming from the huddle. 1st and 10, tall sweep to Ryan Conlon. Conlon has it, trying to pick his way to the near sideline. He's brought down by Brad Thigpen at the 28. He's going to pick up 4 to be 2nd and 6. The Eagles will line up on the ball. They're in the hurry-up offense.
The clock is running. They do have 1 timeout left, but trying to conserve some time here and run a play with no huddle.
Kevin Massey trying to convey the play to his teammates there. He gets under center, and it's Ryan Powell on the trap up the middle. Ryan Powell has a 1st down inside the 20.
Yes, he'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Let's see if Terrell tries to get another play without having to burn their final timeout. It's like we have a guy down for the Eagles. That could be the center.
There is a player down.
I believe it is Michael Swilly.
He gets up and is able to continue. They start the clock after they spotted. It's 1st and 10 at the 18. Ryan Conlon has it. He's going to be, well, he's still trying to go, but he's stopped in the middle there. The Eagles call timeout immediately after the play. There's 29 seconds remaining, and it's going to be 2nd down and 7, maybe 8 Ball's just outside the 16.
Yes, Craig, both teams now out of timeouts. 29 seconds showing.
Well, a lot happening here in the second quarter, Andy. Just an action-packed quarter. We got a whole nother half to play here.
Yep.
And I'm pretty tired, and I'm not even playing.
Well, I'll tell you what, those guys out there on the field have been really getting after it, too. They're probably tired as well and ready to get in that dressing room and take a little bit of a breather.
Now you got to think, Andy, they're out there on both sides of the ball, going at it pretty hard.
They are getting after it, Craig. Both teams really are. This has been an intense, well-played football game. We've had some turnovers and all that, but a lot of those were forced because of some big hits, that type thing. But right here, Craig, Terrell Academy perhaps will call maybe 2 plays if you decide to run it because you are out of timeouts. Of course, if you got a pass play call here and it is not complete, you can go back to the huddle and call another play. But let's see what Coach Beard has in store.
2nd down and 8 from the 16. Massey back to pass. He's looking, under a little bit of pressure, and he's going to be sacked right near the line of scrimmage.
And that's the last thing the Eagles want to happen is to get sacked. Clock continues to run, and they're going to have to come to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down. And the Terrell coach is signaling for Massey just down the ball and then try it on 4th down. And he does.
He does throw the ball down to stop the clock there.
A lot of time was wasted, Craig. We're down to 8 seconds. Some confusion, but Terrell looks like now will have one last shot. And now you got to throw it in the end zone or run a play you think's going to score a touchdown.
That's right, Andy. And if you're on defense, what you got to do is you got to hit the tight end and not let him have a free release off the ball, and you got to play some pretty good coverage on those outside receivers as well.
Absolutely. We know that the Eagles like to throw to the tight end in this situation. You remember last year, Massey to Durham got that first touchdown. But right here, Terrell comes out with no tight end. Twins to both sides, one back set.
They've got it really spread out here. 8 seconds remaining. Massey back to pass. Under a little bit of pressure, throws over the middle. Ball's going to be incomplete, and they will have time for another play.
Well, Craig, that was 4th down.
So Briarwood will come on the field, undoubtedly just down it and run the clock out. That pass was intended for number 12, Eric Blanton. Blanton running a post pattern. Pass was a little bit high. He was well covered.
But once again, another excellent play call by Don Beard, thinking along with all the rest of us on the press box, thinking that Briarwood defense is going to watch for those tight ends. But what does he do? He sends a setup out there with no tight ends. Twins to both sides, and nearly worked.
That's right. Slot receivers on both sides of the field, really spread it out. The Buccaneers do down it. The first half comes to an end, and what a first half. 15-14, the Buccaneers lead the Eagles. We'll be back.
And now we are taking a look at some former Terrell Academy Eagles from the 94 and 95 state championship teams. And to find out who these former Eagles are, let's give it to the public address announcers.
Football team will start with the 1994 year, beginning with Asher Austin, now attending Georgia Southern. Greg Bangs, now attending Darden College. And now from the 1995 team, Brock Massey, now attending Georgia Southern. Michael Bailey, now attending Darden College. Joe Durham, now attending Valdosta State. William Kraft, Georgia Southern. Chandler Lee, Georgia Southern. Daniel Davis, Darden College. Richard Massey, Presbyterian College. Haywood Moody, Valdosta State. Let's give the Terrell Academy alumni seniors a big hand for their part. Second half begins. Let's give the Terrell High Greenway band a big hand for coming out tonight.
The second half of this exciting contest is about to be underway, and Andy, I feel like we've already played a full game in the first half.
Yeah, there's a lot of action in that first half, and it's 15-14 Briarwood Buccaneers on top of the Terrell Academy Eagles. And again, this is what we expected, a good, close, hard-fought game, and we've got another half left.
Terrell Academy will be receiving the kickoff. Lemuel Brooks tees it up. Back to receive Ryan Conlon and Ryan Powell. Kickoff is high and short. Comes down around the 25. Fielded by number 62, Slade Roberts. Slade Roberts up to the 31 where the Eagles will have it, 1st and 10.
First down, Eagles.
Both Thigpen in on the stop, Andy. I tell you what, it's rare you see a quarterback that'll really stick it in there and hit you on defense, but both Thigpen will do it.
He sure will, and we'll give you this Terrell Academy offense. Of course, Kevin Massey in there at quarterback, and Dan Webb, and Ryan Powell, Ryan Conlon in the backfield.
Eric Blanton at the split end. And the give is to Ryan Powell, lead play. He's got a little bit of a hole. Breaks a tackle, gets up to the 45. Finally knocked out of bounds by number 14, Billy Wiggins. Powell ahead for 13 yards on the first play from scrimmage here in the second half.
Yes, Ryan Powell, the total package of power and speed, just bouncing outside, bouncing off people, looking for some other folks to run over, lowering his head. Nice pickup on first down.
Yeah, he was hit by a couple of Buccaneers that time, and they went to the turf, and he kept on going.
Terrell Academy sticking with his I formation. That was so successful there in the second quarter.
Again, it's Powell this time trying the other side. He's going to be brought down after a gain of 2.5, maybe.
Ryan Conlon up to the 48.
Both Thigpen and Lemuel Brooks.
Here's some of these offensive linemen for Terrell Academy. Number 75 is Joseph Bryan. Number 72 is Trevor Permison. Your center, number 63, Michael Swilly. A.J. McMath, number 67, playing at a guard spot. And big number 77, Josh Blankenship, playing one of the tackles. Also in there, number 62, Slade Roberts.
Powell with the ball. He's got a hole and makes a move. Powell deep into the secondary. Running tough here to start the second half is Ryan Powell. Gain of nearly 20 on that jump, and he's down to the 35-yard line of the Buccaneers.
That's Terrell Academy finding some room inside that time. And now they're at the 35-yard line. And they're looking to do what they did in the first half, score on their first possession.
Still in that I formation. Blanton split wide to the left, Conlon wide to the right. Trap play to the fullback, Dan Webb. He's met in the hole, keeps his legs moving, and will gain a couple of yards down to the 32.
Across the 35, down to the 33.
Craig, let me give you some of these defensive players for Briarwood in this 4-3 alignment. At the ends, number 77, Brad Barnett, and 85, Macy Thigpen. Tackles, 75, Travis Polk, and number 80, Nat Williams. Your linebackers, Lemuel Brooks, David Clarkson, and Brad Thigpen. Jason Applin, Bo Thigpen. Billy Wiggins, and Brian Shrugs in the secondary.
Play action pass. He's got a man open deep down the sideline. Back for the pass is Conlon. He catches it, and he fumbles it out of bounds. They're going to spot this one at the 1-yard line, call it a complete pass and a fumble. Conlon had to come back for it a little bit. He made the adjustment. The defender did not, and it's 1st and goal at the 1.
It is, and that was a great adjustment by Conlon, Craig, but I'm not so sure that shouldn't have been ruled a catch and a fumble. It looked like Conlon actually let the ball come, or had the ball come flying out of there before he was down. The referees ruled that he was, and big break for Terrell Academy. They got it 1st and goal at the 1.
1st and goal at the 1. They give it to Ryan Powell. Who else? He's got 3 touchdowns on the evening now. 20-15 is your score as Ryan Powell hits pay dirt for the 3rd time in this ball game.
That's right. Terrell Academy coming out with a vengeance here to start this 2nd half. They go the length of the field, and they regain that lead. It's 20-15, 9:28 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
And Andy, they did that mostly on the ground, and all of a sudden they went to the air on a play action pass and got a bunch of yards. 32, as a matter of fact, down to the 1.
Yes, Massey to Ryan Conlon was big. That set up the 1-yard run by Powell, and now the Eagles will go for 2.
They have a 5-point lead. They're going for 2 to try to make it 7. Play action pass again. Option play. Ball hits the turf. And the 2-point conversion is no good. That time Kevin Massey was wrapped up. It was all he could do just to get the pitch out to Ryan Powell, and Powell never did get a handle on it.
That's right. Briarwood got some great penetration there in the middle of the line, and that's what disrupted that and perhaps made Massey pitch the ball a little bit sooner than he would have liked, and Powell got a hand on it and knocked the pitch down, got a little bit of a bounce, but we're not playing basketball. It didn't bounce right back up to him. And
that's one thing about a football. It doesn't always come up from where it went down. That is for sure.
That's right. So the extra point attempt for 2 is snuffed, and the score remains 20-15, 5-point ball game.
So Terrell Academy comes out. Initial possession in the 2nd half. Drive the ball all the way from their 31 and get a touchdown. 69-yard drive. Mostly 31 yards on the pass play to Conlon, down to the 1, and then Ryan Powell took it in from there on the lead play. So the Terrell Academy Eagles will kick off deep to receive for the Buccaneers as Lemuel Brooks, along with number 44, Paul Wheatley. (20-15) is the score. 9:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And this one's been tuck and go, give and take ever since the sounding whistle to start the ball game.
Great football game between 2 great teams.
Kickoff is high, end over end. Fielded by number 14, Billy Wiggins, and Wiggins gets brought down after a short return near the 32-yard line, and there the Buccaneers will have it.
Well, Craig, you mentioned the quarterback for Briarwood. Both they pinned a lay a lick, but I'll tell you what, number 17, Kevin Massey, that time was first one downfield for Terrell Academy. They're in a special team situation, so both these teams have quarterbacks that's not afraid to hit you.
That's right. Kevin Massey playing the safety position, as is his counterpart. The Buccaneers up to the ball in the I formation. They're going to go to Thigpen, lead play right up the middle. Thigpen has 4 quick yards up to the 35. 2nd and a long 6.
Craig, we know for Briarwood offensively, number 12, Bo Thigpen is the quarterback. Tailback Brad Thigpen, who just went on that last carry, and fullback is number 88, Lemuel Brooks. Brian Scruggs, Keith Johnson, Macy Thigpen, your receivers. Thigpen being the tight end. Jay Axon, David Clarkson, Travis Polk, Brad Stewart, Nate Williams, all up front.
On 2nd down, it's Thigpen once again. He finds a little crease, gets out near the 44. First down for the Buccaneers. And a good hold to run through that time by the offensive line of the Buccaneers.
That's right, a good surge. Thigpen just stuck it up in there right behind those guys. We mentioned those guys up front, Axon, Clarkson, Polk, Barnett, Williams. They got a good push that time.
Andy, as this game progresses, I'm more and more convinced we're watching 2 very evenly matched football teams out there on this field.
Yes, and 2 football teams that want to win this game very badly.
Penalty flag thrown on that one, Andy. We'll wait to see what the call is. The tight end, Macy Thigpen, was shifting from one side of the formation to the other.
And if they call encroachment on Terrell Academy, I'm not too sure about that. It did not look like he broke the plane to me. That's what the Terrell Academy coaches up here were saying. And I didn't think he broke the plane either. So, but nonetheless, 5-yard penalty against Terrell Academy.
That moves the ball up to the 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 5 for the Buccaneers now.
But you're right, the tight end was shifting over to the other side, and the defensive end, well, Terrell did move, but in my opinion, did not cross into the neutral zone.
I'm of the same opinion, Andy. We're not the ones with our flags in our pockets, though. 1st and 5. A little mix-up that time. Bo Thigpen winds up with it in the backfield on a busted play. And he splits 2 defenders, picks up 5 yards, and it's close to the first down.
That's right. Let's just run old busted play right, because that's what that was. A little bit of confusion there with the twin brothers. Tailback Brad went one way. Bo Thigpen, quarterback, expected to see his brother going the other way. Saw he was not there, kept it, and made a nice run, picked up the first down.
That's right, Andy. When he went back the other way, he looked like he would lose yardage. But he made a good move, picked up 5 and the first down. That was old backyard play to the right. 1st and 10 at the Eagle 45. Thigpen cuts it back. He had the hole to run through, tries to spin away, but Ryan Conlon has a hold of him. 6 yards on the play, 2nd and 4 coming up inside the 40-yard line of Terrell Academy.
Greg, let me give you some of these defensive players for Terrell Academy. Number 52 up front, Gene Harris. Number 72, Trevor Permerson. Number 61, Greg Hamlin. Number 73, Luke Prescott. Number 63, Michael Swilly on this 5-man front. Linebackers, Dan Webb, A.J. McMath, and Ryan Powell. Corners, Ryan Conlon and Kevin Massey. And your safety, number 42, John Nicholson.
Brad Thigpen once again. He's trying to get outside. He does. Going to be forced out of bounds by number 21, Ryan Conlon, once again. Conlon catching up with him, but not after he picks up 15 yards and another Buccaneer first down. So Briarwood coming out, trying to answer the Terrell Academy drive with a drive of their own here in the second half.
That's right, Craig, and so much for that defensive struggle that we were talking about in the first half. Looks like it's going to be a war here down the stretch, but between these two teams and their great running backs, Brad Thigpen for Briarwood and Ryan Powell and Ryan Conlon for Terrell Academy.
1st and 10 inside the 25. Lemuel Brooks, fullback trap. That's the old keep him honest play. Run someone other than Brad Thigpen. And Brooks going to gain maybe a couple on the plays down to the 24, 23 and a half, 2nd and 9.
That's right, Craig. You called it right. That's keep him honest play, and you run that play also to give Thigpen maybe a bit of a breather. We've noted that he is playing both ways in this contest, and you certainly really cannot run him every play, although you would like to when you got a player of his caliber.
Second and 9, toss sweep to the far side. Thigpen trying to get the corner.
Wow, Lemuel Brooks just leveled somebody over on that lead play, and a flag comes in here late. But Lemuel Brooks really cleaned somebody's clock at the end, but I'm not sure what his flag is.
I don't know, Andy. I tell you, when you're
maybe a late hit there.
When you're a tailback and you got a fullback that'll throw a block for you like that, he's your best friend.
You doggone right.
Lemuel Brooks got out there and he did clean someone's clock on that one.
That was just a tremendous block.
It is Brad Thigpen that is down on the field. And talk about things that you cannot afford to happen. If Brad Thigpen has to leave this football game for any period of time, the Buccaneers are just devastated. He's to his feet now. It doesn't appear to be shaken up too bad, but he will leave the game for one play.
And Greg, the call is a personal foul against Terrell Academy, so we're going to tack on some penalty yardage at the end of that run by Thigpen.
And that will move it half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul, which was the end of the run. And that will net a first down for the Buccaneers. We'll wait to see where the ball will be spotted. Brad Thigpen does lead the football game for at least one play, and it will be 1st and goal from the 8.
Be interesting to see what Briarwood does here without Thigpen in the contest. Of course, they could just run it in there with Brooks, who is a very fine runner in his own right.
They replaced.
Could fake it in the line of scrimmage. Let Bo Thigpen do the running this time.
They replaced Thigpen with number 44, Wheatley. And we have many flags on the field at the snap of the ball.
He let Bo Thigpen try to get out there a little early. Center didn't snap the ball. And that will be a procedure penalty against the Buccaneers.
False start against Briarwood. That is correct. That'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and goal, but now from the 13. Brad Thigpen back into the game along with number 22, Scruggs. First and goal from the 13. They're in the I formations. Scruggs split wide right. They run the quarterback sneak. Bo Thigpen. Again, seeing some room in the middle, taking it on a quick count. He's going to have maybe 4 yards. He's inside the 10. It'll be 2nd and goal from there.
And correct, Brad Thigpen back into the ball game now for Briarwood.
That time they had Keith Johnson split in wide to the left. Scruggs, flanker, wide to the right. And ran the quarterback sneak. They evidently were trying to spread it out a little bit and reduce the number of bodies in the middle. Opened up a little bit of room. It's 2nd and goal from just outside the 9. We're approaching the 5-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Lead play to Thigpen. He's through the hole, but there's Dan Webb, the big linebacker for Terrell Academy. He hits him at the 8, and Thigpen goes no further.
There's Dan Webb, 225-pound senior, laid it to Thigpen that time. And now it's 3rd down. Of course, we know Briarwood has a good kicker. Should a field goal be necessary on 4th down, but right here, 3rd and goal from the 8. Might not be a bad time to run that play fake and try to hit the tight end Macy as they did in the 1st half.
That's right, Andy, but if you're Terrell Academy, you're waiting for just that play. We'll see what happens here. It's 3rd and goal from the 8. They're in a lead set. It's an option pass, and it goes incomplete in the corner of the end zone. They pitched it back to Brad Thigpen. It looked kind of like an option, and then he tries to throw it to Brian Scruggs in the corner of the end zone, but it falls incomplete. Said that I believe that was
Johnson.
Keith Johnson.
That was Johnson, 82,
Keith Johnson
yeah.
in the corner of the end zone. That brings up 4th down. And an interesting decision here, Andy, is a touchdown would give you the lead.
Yeah, it is an interesting decision, and big play coming up in this football game, and Coach Jay Cravey and the Briarwood Buccaneers are going to take a timeout and get on the same page here. They are on the far hash. The field goal would be about a 27-yard effort.
That's right, and you're looking at a 27-yard field goal from the far hash, or you're looking at picking up 8.5 yards on a 4th down play.
Of course, you're trailing in this contest by 5. Score is 20-15, but plenty of time left. 4:16 showing here in the 3rd quarter.
That's right. There's a lot of ball left to play here in this contest, and should they go for it and not make it, it does force Terrell Academy to drive the ball 90-plus yards. And it looks like they may go for it, Andy.
Yeah, I think that's what Briarwood is going to do is to go for the touchdown here. 9 yards away, 4th down and goal. And I'm not going to speculate what Coach Cravey's got called here.
And I'm not sure what I would call 4th and goal from the 8.5. They send Scruggs wide to the right, Johnson wide to the left there in the I formation. They shift the tight end, Macy Thigpen. They will go to the air. Throwing over the middle, it's batted down. Dan Webb.
Number 20 Webb got that one, that's right. Like a tackle eligible that Briarwood was trying to run there. Looking for number 80, Nathan Williams. They shifted the tight end to the other side, and the receiver backed off and made Nathan Williams an eligible receiver, the tackle. With Terrell Academy not fooled. Dan Webb was ready.
Andy, that Terrell was expecting the pass, and another thing, Briarwood did not do a real good job of selling the tackle eligible. You got to look away from him at your other receivers and then go back to him. Dan Webb makes the play. Terrell Academy has it 1st and 10. The give is to Ryan Powell, and I expect we'll see a lot of Ryan Powell here in the second half, especially with the Eagles having the lead. And all they need to do now is sustain a long drive, use up the clock, maybe put some more points on the board, and Ryan Powell's the man for the job.
That's right. I'll tell you, Nathan Williams, number 80, got some good penetration, and he hit Powell in the backfield, but just didn't lock up. Powell kept on driving and was able to pick up 2 yards instead of lose 2 yards.
That's right. If you hit Ryan Powell, you have to lock up. You have to grab a hold of him because he'll bounce right off of you and keep on going. 2nd down, we'll call it 9 yards to go. The ball's just at the 10-yard line. And again, it's Ryan Powell. He's trying to get outside, cuts it in. Brought down that time by number 8, Jason Appling. Jason Appling, the cornerback, comes up, puts the hit on him after a gain of 2.5, maybe 3. It'll be 3rd and a long 5 for the Eagles. And Andy, this is kind of what we talked about. When Briarwood was facing the 4th and goal from the 8, if you don't make it, if you can hold the Eagles here, you get the ball back in good field position.
That's right. Big play coming up, and Briarwood players looking over to the far sideline, urging the fans to get up, and they stand. It's 3rd and 6.
Watch the trap right up the middle. Instead, Massey's going to the air. Kevin Massey throwing it over the middle. It's incomplete. Broken up by number 14, Billy Wiggins, who steps in front of the receiver. Bats the ball away, and now the Eagles will have to punt.
Yeah, Massey was looking over the middle for the freshman receiver, Blatton. Ball was batted away.
A little bit of pressure that time by the defensive line of the Buccaneers. So a good defensive stand for Briarwood Academy as they force a punt here.
Yeah, they're going to be feeling pretty good. And your point you made earlier is correct. They're going to get it now. It's a pretty good field position after this punt by Dan Webb.
Deep to receive for Briarwood. Number 44, Wheatley, along with number 82, Keith Johnson.
They're both standing at the Terrell Academy 46.
Punt is a high end-over-end punt. Brought down, handled by Johnson. He fakes the reverse, and he's got a wall. Johnson going down the far sideline. Going to be forced out of bounds inside the 30.
We got flags coming in late down here, Craig. But number 42 for Briarwood, Bo Fleming laid a good block to help spring that. And let's see what the flag's all about.
That time Keith Johnson and Wheatley looked like they would run a reverse, but Johnson faked it, and the wall was set up on the far sideline. He turned the corner and picked up good yardage. They're going to lose some on the penalty here.
Yeah, that's going to be a clip.
But they still have good field position, Andy.
That's right. Ball now at the 27-yard line, but once they mark off 15 yards, the spot of the clip actually was at the 25. So that should back them up 15 yards to the 40.
Well, here's a question for you, Andy. Well, that clip occurred during the play, so it will be 1st and 10 after the penalty.
Yeah, it's a live ball situation, so that they will reset the chains once the penalty is marked off. And actually, they marked the penalty off from the spot that, or where the run ended. So the ball's back at the 42.
1st and 10 for the Briarwood Academy Buccaneers at the 42-yard line of the Eagles. 20-15 is the score, 3:05 remaining in the 3rd. The Eagles holding the lead by 5.
Yes, and Briarwood's thinking here now they would like to take this in and score and regain the lead. You remember in the first half they had some good field position a couple times and were unable to cash in. And you're only going to get so many chances or so many opportunities of good field position, and you're going to knock those in when you get those chances.
This time they're on the option. Brad Thigpen has it. He gets a block. It's a foot race down the sideline. Kevin Massey has a shot, and he pulls him down at the 2-yard line. Kevin Massey, a touchdown saving tackle. Brad Thigpen on the option, covered a lot of ground.
Yes, they did. That was a great downfield block. I was trying to get the number of the Briarwood player, maybe in 22 Scruggs. Someone got a nice block. Once Thigpen got on the corner, Kevin Massey saved the touchdown.
Andy, it was either Scruggs or Keith Johnson that made that block that sprung Brad Thigpen. A good-looking option play. They really sold the fake to the fullback. Bo Thigpen drew the corner up on himself and then pitched it to his brother. What we're seeing right now, Andy, is cramps. Brad Thigpen having cramps We saw him lead the game for a play earlier. It looks like he'll have to do so again, but it's 1st and goal for Briarwood at the 2.
Yes, and Briarwood's hoping that Brad Thigpen can overcome the situation with the cramps and not be out of the game very long, because they certainly don't want to play too many plays on offense without him in the lineup. They do have a 1st and goal.
I said 1st and goal at the 2. It will be at the 3.
Thigpen's walking it off, and he looks like he's going to be okay, but you're right, he does have to go out for the one play.
You see people cramping their calves most of the time. He's walking, though, Andy, like it's his hamstring that's cramping, and that could be significantly worse.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, if you have a hamstring cramp or pull a hamstring or something, that's a very painful injury. It's painful to even walk, much less run. The Thigpen limps to the sidelines. Briarwood offense will have a 1st and 10 without their workhorse on the field. Or 1st and goal, I should say.
1st and goal just outside of the 3. Kevin Massey's showing a little bit of speed there, Andy, to run Thigpen down, save a touchdown on that option play.
Yeah, I thought Thigpen was gone, and you're right, Massey did come from behind to get him.
Power I left is the formation for the Buccaneers. They're going to try to pound it in with Brooks, the big fullback, and he's in. Touchdown, Briarwood Academy. They regain the lead, 21-20 with 2:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The fullback, Lemuel Brooks, off tackle on the left side. And Eddie, there's a little book that tells you when to go for 1 and when to go for 2. And if you're ahead by 1, you go for 2.
That's right. Yeah, you got to go for 2 in this situation. Make it a 3-point game. Difference between 1 and 2 really, it's not that big a deal, because a field goal would beat you if it come to that. Well, Craig, I don't think Jay Cravey's reading that book. It says he's going to kick.
Andy, I am astonished. And I don't want to second guess any of the coaches, because that's not my responsibility. Well, there's no point in kicking 1 point here.
Well, the thing that Coach Cravey may be thinking about it, as the kick is good, by the way, making it a 22-20 game, as there is still plenty of time left in this ball game. But I'm like you, I'd have went for 2 if it had been me.
Well, nevertheless, number 30, Jay Maxwell, sticks it right through the uprights. So we can't argue that he didn't have confidence in his kicker, as he shot it right through there, and it is 22-20 now, with 2:52 remaining in the 3rd.
Well, Craig, we've talked so much about Brad Thigpen tonight. He certainly is a great runner. He's shown that certainly in this contest. But Lemuel Brooks, fullback, who scored that last touchdown, he's rushed, coming in here tonight, he's rushed for 663 yards, 98 carries. He scored 10 touchdowns. That's not too shabby there. Averages 6.8 yards a carry.
Lemuel Brooks, he's a workhorse, Andy. Last year when we covered this state championship game, Terrell Academy shut down Brad Thigpen. And Lemuel Brooks last year, if I'm not mistaken, had more yards than Brad Thigpen.
I believe he did, Craig. And the other thing I like about that was Lemuel Brooks, who has done just an outstanding job of lead blocking in this game, is rewarded there with the touchdown.
That's right. And when he got the ball at the 3, he would not be denied. He stuck it on in there to give his team the lead once again, 22-20. Here in the 3rd quarter, Brooks does the kicking. He's got it teed up. Ryan Conlon and Ryan Powell are deep. And Brooks kicks it off a short spiraling kick that will roll out of bounds. And Terrell Academy will have the option to take it at the 35 or to force a re-kick.
Yes, I believe, Craig, they may have the option of taking the ball where it went out of bounds, being they did not reach the 35.
Right. That's right. So it will be 1st and 10 at the 37.
I believe that's what I do, just take it right there and go on offense.
And it looks like what Coach Beard has in mind as he sends his offensive unit onto the field. Illegal procedure is the call against the kicking team for kicking it out of bounds. And Terrell Academy will take it 1st and 10 at their own 37.
And Craig, we said it 100 times already tonight, but bears repeating. What a great game we've
now,
got.
this is a war, Andy. This is what you come to see, and this is what you come to do if you're playing. Just get out there and sell out, give it everything you got, and see who comes up winning.
That's right. This is a Super Bowl for these two teams. State championship game here tonight.
It's a trap play, and the ball does touch the turf, but I believe Ryan Powell able to get it back. But as he was falling that time, the ball came loose, but he falls right on top of it. Powell falls forward for a gain of 1 up to the 39.
For a state championship game on the line here tonight. Terrell Academy trying for that three-peat. Briarwood looking to revenge last year's 22-0 defeat.
Powell has it once again. He's trying to get outside. Nice defensive play by number 8, Jason Appling. Appling just kind of played off of a block, hit Ryan Powell low, and made the tackle.
Yeah, a little Appling may have got clipped that time by Conlon, no call. But he was bumped in the back.
It's 3rd down and a long 6. Ball is at the 42. We call it 3rd and 7.
I'll tell you, Craig, this Briarwood defense is playing tough here in the second half. You remember last possession, they forced a 3 and out. Right here, if they can come up with a play, they'll do the same thing.
3rd and 7, Massey back to pass. It's the draw play. Powell has plenty of room. Powell makes a move over the middle, and he's got the first down as he crosses the 50-yard line. And another good call by Coach Don Beard.
That's right. We saw that play in the first half on 3rd and long. And there we see it again, and both times positive results for the Eagles. 1st and 10 across midfield at the Buccaneer 48.
And you're talking about the Briarwood defense. They yielded the drive to start the second half. But since then, they've been pretty stingy out there.
That's right. Oh, yes, that's right.
1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 48 of the Buccaneers. They're in a wing set now with Conlon on the wing. They're going to run a pulling guard out to lead Ryan Powell around the end. They pull number 52, Gene Harris. Harris comes out, throws a block. Ryan Powell gets inside the 45. Gain of 5 on the play.
That's right. It was a good block by 52 Harris. We had a chance to speak with his mother there at halftime, and she told us to make sure we got number 52 on the tape. So he's on there and doing a great job, I might add, those lead blocks and trap blocks here in this contest.
2nd and 5 for the Eagles. They've got wide outs in there in the I formation, but the give is to Powell. Powell has a hole. He gets 5, 6, 7 yards inside the 40, and a 1st down, and Powell is shaken up.
Yes, he is. He's still down, and slowly gets up. I believe he's going to be okay. Once they reset the chains, Craig, they'll wind the clock, and that may be the last play here of this 3rd quarter. 10 seconds and counting.
I believe it will be, and as the clock is winding down here in the 3rd quarter, Briarwood Academy holding a 2-point lead, 22-20. Be sure and be here for the 4th. We'll be back. Terrell Academy Eagles have the ball 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Buccaneers as we start the 4th quarter of play and what has been a tremendous football game.
It really has, and now the Eagles back in that wishbone set, 2 tight ends. Looks like they're ready to play some power football down here inside the 40.
Dan Webb, the fullback, Conlon and Powell, the running backs. Conlon has it. He gets a block and gets outside. He's going to have a gain of 5 yards on the play to the 33. It'll be 2nd and 5 from there.
Yeah, Brooks on the stop along with Billy Wiggins, number 14.
Brooks and Wiggins on the stop. 2nd down, Eagles.
Terrell Academy, we mentioned, looking for that three-peat tonight, 3rd straight state championship game. They're down by 2. right now, but they advanced this year to the state championship game by winning Region 1AA, or Region 3AA. They beat Crisp Academy and Gatewood in the playoffs to reach the championship round.
Second down and a long 5. Powell has it. He gets a good block from Dan Webb, and he's going to be ahead for a gain of 3 down to the 30. Big fullback throwing a good lead block that time.
That's right, Craig. We've seen some good licks in this contest, and a lot of those have been by the fullbacks. Dan Webb for Terrell Academy and Lemuel Brooks for Briarwood. Those two guys are warriors out there, I'll tell you.
That brings up a 3rd and 3 situation for the Eagles. And Andy, wind has picked up here in the second half. It's blowing toward the end zone that is on the left of your TV screen.
Yeah, Terrell Academy has the win here in the 4th quarter.
They try to run Conlon up the middle, and he stopped, maybe losing half a yard on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down. Big defensive play by Briarwood Academy.
13 Brad Thigpen and 77 Brad Barnett. Hanging tough.
We've called Barnett's name a couple of times tonight. He's been getting penetration into the backfield. That time causes Conlon to lose a yard. So what was 3rd and a short 3 is now 4th and a long 3.
And Craig, and once again, another one of those big 4th down plays coming up is the Terrell Academy Eagles will go.
That's right, and as the clock goes on, each play becomes bigger. This will be the biggest play in the contest up to this point.
Briarwood fans across the way on their feet. Here comes the blitz.
It's a play action pass. They blitz. They're trying to get to Massey, and they will. He's going to be sacked 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Had a man open deep, but just did not have time to get it to him, Andy.
That's right, Brad Thigpen on the blitz, also 77 Brad Barnett. Big play for Briarwood, and over across the way, Buccaneer fans are excited.
At the 36-yard line.
So the ball goes over on the loss of downs. 1st and 10 now for Briarwood.
Craig, there's still a lot of time left, 9:43, but Terrell Academy certainly does not want Briarwood to go on one of those long sustained drives and run some clock and extend this 2-point lead.
That's right, Andy. If they are able to drive this ball 64 yards, run some clock, and come away with a touchdown, should they convert on any type of extra point, it would take 2 scores by Terrell Academy then to get back ahead.
That's right. So big defensive series coming up for Terrell Academy. I mentioned that they are looking for their 3rd state championship in as many years. Coming in here tonight, and Briarwood, on the other hand, looking for their 1st state championship. And I believe the Buccaneers do have some state championships to their credit. But this year, Briarwood won Region 1AA, got a bye in the 1st round, and defeated Trinity Christian in the quarterfinals, and in the semifinals last week, knocked off a very good Southwest Georgia football team by a score of 28-0 to get here to this championship game tonight.
And I know we've said it a dozen times already, Andy, but no matter the outcome of this football game, this has been what high school football is all about. This has just been a great football game. 2
teams that have worked real hard to get here, and 2 teams that are letting it all hang out tonight.
Twin receivers to the left side, toss sweep to Thigpen. He cuts it up. It's going to pick up 3.5 yards to the 40-yard line.
Down about the 38-yard line, 40-yard line.
Ball's resting right at the 40. It will be 2nd down and 6 for the Buccaneers. Here's where you start to see a lot of players on both sides of the ball with their hands on their hips. You know they're tired. They've been playing both ways. But you won't see them let up. They'll wait and be tired tomorrow.
Well, that's right. This is it here tonight. This is the last game of the season. No reason to save anything. You got all season to rest.
Brad Thigpen once again on the lead play. Nowhere to go this time. He might get a yard.
Eagles led by Josh Blankenship.
Yeah, in the middle that time by Josh Blankenship along with number 62, Slade Roberts.
Yeah, that's right. That time Thigpen run into big number 77, Josh Blankenship, 273 pounds. By far the biggest player on the field. I'm not going to move Josh Blankenship out of there.
That's going to make it 3rd and 5. The ball's at the 41. The Buccaneers taking a long time in the huddle here, Andy.
But they really are. They're going to have to get out there. They may get a penalty, and this is a big play coming up here because they want to convert and keep this drive going.
Can't afford to get a delay of game here when it's 3rd and 5. They got a man in motion. They do get the snap off. Thigpen rolling out. He's got a man open in the flats. Overthrown. Keith Johnson was open near the 50-yard line, and Thigpen missed him. It'll bring up 4th and 5.
Johnson goes incomplete.
Yes, and Thigpen has some room had he chose to run that. He may could have picked it up on his own, but went with the pass play out in the flats, a little bit high, intended for Johnson. Now the Bucks are forced to punt, and Terrell Academy is going to get it back. Lots of time left, 8-10 showing.
And a dangerous return man in Ryan Conlon back to receive the punt. Snap is good to Brooks. He gets off a booming high spiral. Fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line by Eric Blanton. So Lemuel Brooks showing us a lot of things here tonight. Some good lead blocking, some good tackling on defense. And that time he unleashed a real good punt.
Yes, he did. And got it downfield in good shape. Now Terrell Academy's looking at having to drive it 75 yards, 8 minutes exactly showing. Briarwood Buccaneers up 22-20. And as we suspected all week, this was going down to the wire.
The Eagles will have it 1st and 10 near their 25. They come out with Conlon split wide to the left. They're in the I formation. Powell is the tailback. Powell gets the carry. Coming toward the near sideline. He's going to be head for a gain of 3.5 up to the 28.
Terrell Academy seems to have had more success when they line up in the I formation than they have done in the wishbone at times tonight, and I think we'll see much of that here on this drive. I formation with the receiver split out instead of the wishbone with the 2 tight ends set.
Andy, that's due largely in part to the fact that Briarwood has to worry about the pass when they do that. When they line up into 2 tight ends in a wishbone formation, you can nearly suspect the run, and they can pack a few more defensive men right up there around the football.
Conlon and Blanton split out this time.
Again, it's Ryan Powell, the trap up the middle. We've seen them have a lot of success with that play tonight, and they do again, gain of 7 and a 1st down just outside of the 35.
That's right. Terrell Academy traps or pulls guards on just about every play, and they did then, and Powell got ahead, and once again, he's having cramps, and officials signal for the Terrell Academy coaching staff to come see about Powell. Powell, I think, wanted to stay in there. Some of his teammates doing a little bit of training work that time, trying to stretch out those cramps.
Well, we see the big running back for both teams cramping up now. Brad Thigpen been off the field twice with cramps, and now Ryan Powell coming off with cramps. That brings number 42 into the ball game, John Nicholson. He'll split out far to the right side, and Ryan Conlon will move to tailback. Conlon has it, trying to get outside. He's going to be brought down by Brad Thigpen after a gain of a half yard.
Also 77 Barnett in there. I tell you, Barnett and Thigpen have been all over the field making tackles for Briarwood here in the second half. I'll tell you, Craig, we've covered 3 games in the Georgia Independent School Association playoff here in this 1996 season. We've seen some great players. Ben Fairclough over at David Emanuel Academy, certainly one of those, but Brad Thigpen, one of those guys, is a warrior also. Along with Powell from Terrell Academy. Some excellent football players playing here at the GISA.
2nd down 9 for Terrell Academy. They run the option, and it's pitched out to Conlon. And Conlon going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by number 22, Scruggs. He gets a little help from his friends, and we're going to lose 3 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 13 now.
Also there, number 88, Lemuel Brooks, who's had a big night.
That play looked like it was doomed from the start, Andy. Someone got some penetration that time and had a hold of quarterback Kevin Massey's legs, and He tried to pitch it on out to Conlon, and by that time Scruggs had Conlon hemmed in.
Yes, Craig. We got another player down, this time for Briarwood. And we've seen a lot of cramps, a lot of injuries, and that's due to the fact this has been just a hard-fought, well-played, very physical game.
Such a physical contest, and the fatigue plays into it. You're more prone to get injured when you're just dead tired, and these guys are on both sides of the ball.
Yes, and I'll tell you, when you think about Terrell Academy trying to win 3 state championships and trying to create a dynasty here in Class AA, and some folks might would think, well, they've won it 2 years in a row. Are they hungry as they were in 1994 and in 1995? I would say the answer is yes. They've come out here and just played their hearts out tonight, and you knew Briarwood would come in here hungry, wanting to win, because they came so close the last 2 years and were denied. But just a great, great effort by both these schools.
And the injured player was number 52, David Clarkson. He has to lead the field for a play. When he got up, he appeared to be all right. He even wanted to stay in the football game, but you have to leave for at least one play. So Clarkson is out. It's 3rd and 13. Terrell Academy comes up to the ball. It's resting at their own 32-yard line. 5:40 remaining in the contest, and they're down by 2. Ryan Powell goes wide to the far side of the field. Now they split Conlon to the wing. They're going to the air. Kevin Massey down the middle of the field. And the ball is batted down by number 14, Billy Wiggins. Flag on the play.
And Craig, it's a penalty in the backfield, and this is going to be an illegal motion against Terrell Academy. And I think Briarwood's going to decline this because the pass was incomplete, or illegal procedure, actually, to call against the Eagles. And Briarwood should turn this down and make it 4th and 12.
Penalty is illegal motion. It is declined. It will be 4th and 12. The Eagles will have to punt. So look for Dan Webb to kick here.
Yes,
Andy,
Terrell Academy, they have to kick. Now there's still some time left, 5:29 playing, but it's 4th and 12, and you're deep in your own territory. Or I say deep, you're in your own territory at the 32-yard line. But I think you got to kick this one away, and Dan Webb is in punt formation.
I think you do too, Andy, but if I'm Briarwood, I'm watching this very closely.
Oh, yes.
Make sure Dan Webb does kick it. He does, and it's a high kick, sailing toward the near sidelines. It's going to go out of bounds.
You know, the official upfield is trying to get the official who is downfield to spot the ball, but it looked like the ball, it was way out of bounds, but it looked like Terrell Academy got a pretty favorable spot.
It's spotted at the 37, right where it actually landed, Andy. I mean, anyway, it's 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers up at their own 37-yard line.
Well, I apologize for my hesitation there, but Briarwood coaching staff upset about the call, and obviously so.
1st and 10 for the Buccaneers. They're in the I formation. And it's a fumble! The ball is on the ground, and Terrell Academy has it.
By number 52, Gene Harris. For Terrell Academy, Craig, and boy, that's the break they needed right there. That could be huge. The Eagles have just punted the ball away to Briarwood, just over 5 minutes to play, and now Briarwood, with a crucial turnover, gives it to the Eagles, and they have it in business at the Briarwood 37.
Andy, that just made a whole lot of fans on the other side of the field just turn in their stomachs. They had the possession of the ball and the lead at 5 minutes to go, and now Terrell Academy has it. 1st and 10. They give it to Ryan Powell. Powell's hit in the backfield by Lemuel Brooks along with number 80.
Nathan Williams in there, a defensive tackle. So once again, Briarwood getting that great penetration straight up the middle.
I tell you, the Briarwood defense been playing pretty good this second half. Haven't given up only 6 points so far. And they desperately need to put a stand together here if they want to hold on to this lead.
And that's right. It was 15-14 at the half in favor of Briarwood. Now they lead at 22-20. 4:40 left here in the ball game.
Kevin Massey has his troops up to the ball. 2nd down and 10. Wishbone formation, play action pass. He's got a man over the middle. Hit just as he threw it, and it's incomplete. Pass intended that time for number 75, Joseph Bryan. Joseph Bryan comes up a little lame after that one.
Yes, Massey I believe, was originally looking for number 12, Blanton, over the middle. He was covered and went to the secondary receiver there. Number 75, that's Joseph Bryan.
It is 3rd down and 10 now from the 37-yard line. You got to feel like, Andy, they got 2 downs to make these 10 yards.
Oh, yeah, definite 2-down territory, and Briarwood fans making a lot of noise. And now here on the home side, Terrell Academy fans are standing.
They got them split out, I formation, under some pressure now, trying to set up a screen. But look who's there. Number 77, Brad Barnett. Barnett just having a heck of a football game.
Yes, Terrell Academy trying to set up the screen pass to the right side. Brad Barnett read the play. He got out there with Ryan Powell and dove in front of the play and knocked the pass down. I believe it would have been incomplete anyway, a little bit short.
That's right.
But huge defensive play by Brad Barnett.
A screenplay, that's a pretty good call in that situation, 3rd and long. But a good defensive play by Briarwood. They had pressure on the passer as well as Barnett being out there running step for step with Ryan Conlon.
And Craig, now 4:24 left in the game, 4th and 10. Terrell Academy with the ball sitting at the 37-yard line. They must go, and they will.
4th and 10 now. The Buccaneers trying to stop them, and the Eagles trying to get 10 more yards to stay alive.
Trips to the right, Craig. One back set.
3 receivers wide to the right. Dan Webb, the long back. That was going to be an interesting play. A timeout called by Kevin Massey. We'll see what's going to happen next.
And Craig, I was watching last year's state championship tape this morning before I left, and there was a situation in that game where Terrell Academy came out with the trip formation, 3 wide receivers to the right, and in that particular instance, it caught Briarwood off guard, and they were forced to call a timeout. But that time, Terrell Academy was in a 3 receivers trip set, and they saw something that they didn't like, and they called timeout.
That's right, Andy. We're in a chess match now between Don Beard and Jay Cravey to see what's going to happen on this 4th and 10 situation. Don Beard, we know he's got all kind of plays in his arsenal. We've seen him. We've been here 3 years now. We've seen different plays every time, and they've got 10 yards to go. The Briarwood Buccaneers trying to stop them.
Well, Craig, you're talking about trick plays and such. Who can ever forget the 1994 state championship game, Bangs to Moody to Bangs? So that 1-yard run by Ryan Powell that gave Terrell Academy a 20-12 win over David Emanuel.
If they go back to the trips formation, Briarwood has to send 3 people out there with them. And that spreads it out mighty thin. Dan Webb could get a carry here.
This time trips to the left.
Trips to the left. Conlon, Powell, and Blanton. It is a blitz. Thigpen was all over him. And it passes over the middle, and Conlon drops it. Kevin Massey put it right there. Ryan Conlon unable to pull it in. And the Briarwood Buccaneers have new life breathed into them.
Well, they do, because they sent Brad Thigpen straight up the middle and blitz, and what a great job by Massey of eluding the pass rush. He broke to the outside, set himself up, and delivered a perfect pass to Ryan Conlon. Round numbers, but he just dropped it. What can you say?
I tell you what, I thought Brad Thigpen was going to get him. You're right. Kevin Massey got away, rolled to his left, and then threw back to his right over the middle. That's a heck of a play for a quarterback to make.
Yeah, heads-up play by the sophomore. He did his part. And
unfortunately for Ryan Conlon, he's just unable to make the catch.
And now for Terrell Academy, the defense is going to have to do it. 4:19 left.
Thigpen has it. He's going to be tripped up as he enters the line of scrimmage. Gain maybe half a yard. Gene Harris gets up off the bottom there.
And Craig, this is going to be quite a battle here. Briarwood would love nothing better than just give it to Brad Thigpen and pick up some first downs, run this clock, and win the state championship. Harris is limping for Terrell. He may come off, but he's trying to stay in there. But this is going to be a war here. These next few plays, is these 2 teams who have already gotten after it all night are going to turn it up another notch here.
I'll tell you what, this is what it's all about. 3:45 remaining in the contest. It'll take 2 first downs for the Buccaneers to be able to run it out. They go on long snap counts. They give it to the big fullback, Brooks. Brooks is going to be ahead for a gain of maybe a yard. He's stopped by number 72, Trevor Permison, 220-pound sophomore. Permison will be back another 2 years.
Craig, the dilemma now for Briarwood is now it's 3rd down, and of course you want to run the ball and pick up first downs, but you don't want to get too conservative and go 3 and out here. So what does Coach Jay Cravey do here? Does he give it to Thigpen, or does he try to pass the ball, maybe run a an option play. Let's see.
I keep it on the ground, Andy, if it's me. And it's another busted play. Bo Thigpen turned the wrong way back there. Found himself all alone, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and the Buccaneers will have to punt.
That's right, another mix-up by Briarwood. Busted play, and Terrell Academy all over that one, and they're going to get it back. And they may think about calling a timeout here. Clock is still running, 2:35 left to play. But they're going to have one more shot at it. They trail by 2.
2.5 minutes and counting. Lemuel Brooks back to punt. Conlon and Blanton are deep to receive. Low snap. Brook gets it. Ball's rolling down the middle. It's going to roll to a stop inside the 30 and be down at the 28. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. 22-20. This is what everyone came for.
It is, Craig. It's been just a great football game, and you know, it's an overused saying or cliche, but in this case, I mean, it's really true. It is a shame that either one of these teams is going to lose, have to lose this football game, because both, in my mind, both of these teams are winners. It's been a great game, and both very worthy of being state champion. But we got 2 minutes and 14 seconds to play, and right now Briarwood leads 22-20.
Wishbone formation. Terrell Academy going to the ground. Ryan Powell has it. He's trying to get outside, and he does. Ryan Powell with a little bit of room. Stiff arms a man, gets up to the 40. Gain of 12.
That's right on Ryan Powell, I should say, with his stiff arm, similar to Jamal Anderson of the Falcons, stuck it right in the face there of both Thigpen. 1st and 10, and Terrell Academy not out of it yet.
Clock is running now. We're down to 2 minutes. Several players from both teams limping around out there, giving it all they've got here. Conlon has it now. Lead play over the right side. Conlon.
Vicious hit by Brooks, Craig.
Conlon picks up 5 yards, and Lemuel Brooks lowers the hammer on him. This is just great football. I mean, we've said it all night long, but this is just great.
It really is, Craig. Just great games. They're getting after it. Clock's running. 1:35 left to play. 2nd and 5 from the 45.
Terrell Academy not spending any time in the huddle. They're right back to the line of scrimmage and running once again. Ryan Powell bounces off of one man. Thigpen hit him in the backfield. He gets away, but Scruggs wrapped him up. It'll be 3rd and 5 from midfield.
Terrell's going to take a timeout, Craig, and I was a little bit surprised to see the Eagles in that wishbone set with the 2 tight ends.
When they've had their success in the I formation.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But now it's 3rd down and 5 from the 45, and if you're in a 4th down situation, you're certainly going now. You have no choice. So you're looking at 2 plays to pick up 5 yards, and then you got to think about conserving some time because it's getting late.
That's right, Andy. It's 1 minute and 24 seconds remaining in the contest, and they've got 55 yards to go. But right now they've got 5 yards to go to get another 1st down. It's 3rd and 5. And I can't hardly be still up here. This is just really good. Coach Don Beard, having concluded his discussion with the offensive unit, sends them back to the field. Coach Jay Cravey, late getting off the field, yelling some last-minute instructions to his players. The Buccaneers trying to play some defense. The Eagles trying to drive for a win here late in the game. Thigpen on the blitz. There's a play-action pass, and a man open downfield. It's Blanton. Blanton's got it. He's at the 10, the 5. He's going to score. And it has happened once again. The Eagles have scored late in the game.
Wow, Craig, pandemonium here in Dawson. The Terrell Academy, the coaches say they knew what they were doing. They were in that 2 tight end set. Play-action fake, and Kevin Massey found a wide-open Eric Blanton, who got outside behind the secondary. He goes all the way in for the score. 55 yards with 1:14 left in this one. Wow.
Eric Blanton, the freshman, running a corner route, and Kevin Massey laid it right in his arms, and he's down the sideline for the score. That makes it 26-22, and the Eagles need to go for 2 here.
Oh, absolutely. You go for 2
to
here.
Get the 6-point lead, because 4 points doesn't do anything if the Buccaneers get a touchdown.
That's right. If you kick the extra point, it's just a 5-point game. Touchdown still beats you, so you got to go for 2. So the touchdown can only tie you.
Look for Powell. It's play action once again. Throwing over the middle, and Conlon is wide open. Ryan Conlon in the back of the end zone. He's open. It's 28-22 with 1:14 remaining.
And Craig, I'll tell you, Massey stayed in the pocket right to the last minute because he got nailed pretty good by Lemuel Brooks. But he kept his cool. Great poise for a sophomore quarterback, and he fired it right in there to Conlon.
Back to the touchdown, Andy. It was 3rd down and 5 from their own 45-yard line. Play action pass. Blanton on the corner route. Massey hit him perfect. 55 yards and a touchdown with 1:14 remaining in the contest. And what started as a good game, went through as a good game, is bound to finish as a good game.
That's right, Craig. We still got some time left. 1:14 showing, and I don't feel like these Briarwood Buccaneers feel like they're out of it. They're going to come back fighting. They know they got some weapons on offense. We know they're capable of making some big special teams plays, so we got a kickoff coming, and a lot could happen.
Lemuel Brooks and number 44, Wheatley, deep to receive the kickoff. Doing the kicking for Terrell Academy. Number 62, Slade Roberts. Roberts kicks it down the middle of the field, end over end. Brooks has it. Brooks trying to go to his left and get outside. Going to be forced out of bounds at the 35. 68 seconds remaining in the game.
68 seconds left and 65 yards. Briarwood has to go.
A yard per second.
That's right, yard per second. And they're going to have to go with the hurry-up offense.
Andy, this does not fit well for the Buccaneers. They're not a very prolific passing team, but they're going to have to go to the air here.
Yeah, they're going to have to change what they do somewhat. They love to give it to Thigpen, but right now, you really can't afford just to stand right there or just turn around and hand it to Thigpen. You're going to have to throw the ball and try to loosen things up, and they have twins to the right.
Bo Thigpen back to pass. He's got some time. Throws it up for his receiver. It's batted away. Intended for Johnson. Keith Johnson. It falls incomplete around the 45. 2nd and 10 from the 35 now.
Briarwood had 2 receivers in the same area. Johnson, also Brian Scruggs. Terrell Academy, of course, waiting for the pass. And good coverage over Ryan Powell and Ryan Conlon.
And 2 exceptional athletes for Terrell Academy right there in the coverage.
That's right, both ways. They're playing tonight, offense and defense. 1:02 left now.
Scruggs in motion. Thigpen once again to pass. Going deep for Brooks. Brooks has it go off his hands.
It went off his hands, Craig, and then he kicked the ball, and Massey had a little bit of a shot at it at the end before it hit the ground. But Brooks had a shot at it.
You mentioned Lemuel Brooks.
Craig, we got a flag. Let's see what this is.
Being one of the leading receivers. Holding against the Buccaneers. This will back them up 10 yards. From the spot of the foul.
Yes, I believe you take that. That's a 10-yarder and 5 yards deep in the backfield, although it is 3rd down now. Of course, Terrell Academy
the player's thinking about declining it, but it's a 15-yard mark off from the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's just a good situation to be in because either way, you're not wrong. I believe I'll take this.
I believe I do too. It puts them all the way back to the 20-yard line. It makes it 2nd down and 25. Plus, there's only 56 seconds left on the clock. The Terrell Academy Eagles striking late on a deep pass play, 55 yards, to give themselves a 6-point lead, 28-22, and we're now under a minute to play. And the hopes of revenge by these Briarwood Buccaneers are fading. Bo Thigpen throws over the middle. Keith Johnson can't hold on to it. It's incomplete. This is going to be 3rd down now and 25.
Well, Craig, they're going to rule it a catch and his referee was saying widen the clock, but I thought it was definitely
one
an
referee
incomplete pass.
tried to spot it, but the referee on the near sideline says no, it is not a catch. They rule it incomplete now.
Well, I'm not sure what they ruled because, well, they're not about to spot the ball.
They're confused at where to spot it. They did rule it incomplete.
Yeah. Well, I think it was definitely an incomplete pass, and now it's third. You got the gauge, Craig?
Quarter of a mile here.
Quarter of a mile.
Third and a quarter of a mile. Trying to go down the middle of the field to the big tight end. Macy Thigpen. That's broken up around the 40. Looked for a moment like he might be able to catch that pass, but it was knocked away. So now it's fourth down, and this is the last hope that the Buccaneers have. They got 25 yards to go.
That's right. They're deep in a hole now here. They're going to go to the bag of tricks or come up with something maybe we haven't seen tonight, because Terrell Academy can just sit back and just watch the field and expect anything. Briarwood has to get out to the 47-yard line. They're at the 20, so it's 4th and 27.
They bring in an extra receiver, do the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
Number 30, Jay Maxwell.
Looks like they're going to just try to hit the long one. 3 receivers to the right.
A little bit of pressure, now he throws it down the middle of the field, intended for Brooks. And it's intercepted by Eric Blanton. The coach tells him to get down on the field.
And how about the freshman, Eric Blanton, who scored what's going to be the game-winning touchdown, and he seals it now with an interception here at the end with 32 seconds to play.
Trying to go down the middle of the field to Lemuel Brooks, the leading receiver. Ball's picked off by number 12, Eric Blanton. That will preserve the victory.
Well, Briarwood, they had no choice. They had to just try to throw the deep ball and hope for the best.
Oh, that's right, Andy. It was 4th and 27. As you mentioned, they had to throw it deep. They had to try to complete it. The Eagles come away with an interception. 32 seconds left on the clock, and they hold a 6-point lead.
Terrell now just going down the ball and run out the clock. Massey covers it.
Massey falls on it.
I saw Briarwood's just going to let it run.
If Briarwood does not use the timeout, that will be the final play of this ball game.
And Craig is running down, and it looks like that's going to be state championship for Terrell Academy, 3rd year in a row. And fans down below getting ready to storm the field, and players taking their helmets off. Clock is running. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
It's all over, and the fans, some of the fans are headed toward the goalpost. The rest of them storm in the middle of the field. And look at the Briarwood players, Andy. They laid it all out on the field tonight. You know they're so disappointed. They played a heck of a football game. The Terrell Academy Eagles struck it late, and they win 28-22. We'll be back to wrap this up in just a moment. Coach Beard, first of all, congratulations. This is 3 state championships in a row, and I know you're proud of your football team. We had a heck of a game tonight. Just tell us your thoughts.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, it was a well football game. Could have won by either team, and I want to take my hats off to Briarwood because they got a good football team. I mean, you know, we won. If it'd gone 5 more minutes, they might have won, but they got a good football team. But I'm so proud of our little old 22 knotheads. You know, we lost 3 football games in the middle of the year, and people kind of wrote us off, but then we got everybody back well, and they worked hard, and they've improved, and nobody thought we could be here. But through them, because of them, we're here.
Well, congratulations once again. I know you're proud of your team, and this is just a great organization down here. You don't get to win 3 championships without being the fan support and the crowd support, and just a fine program down here at Terrell Academy, and just a great football game. I don't know what else to say about it, but it was just entertaining.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we have had good support. Headmaster, our board, we have good support from administration and real good fan support, and the kids work hard, and I guess in the long run that's really the great thing. Everybody likes to win, but the fact that we turning out a good product as far as a kid is what's important too.
Absolutely. Congratulations once again on your 3rd state championship. Coach Don Beard.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
What else can we say about this football game, Andy? It was just a great football game. 2 good teams laying it all on the line, playing hard, and Terrell Academy wins their 3rd state championship.
That's right, and they pull out a big play at the end to win it. Pass from Massey to Blanton. They win the contest 28-22, and we heard the comments from Coach Beard there at the end, and Coach Jay Cravey for Briarwood declined to come out and talk, but his guys, I know they're really hurting right now, but they really have nothing to be ashamed of. They played their hearts out, played just a super football game. this one could have went either way, but tonight it was Terrell Academy winning their 3rd straight state championship contest.
And if you watch this tape, this presentation, you've seen good football. For DPL Sports and Andy Calloway, I'm Craig Lanier. We'll see you next time, and we hope you enjoyed it.